Howdy, folks. My name is Matt Majot, and I'm here to introduce you to this new show that we are doing. The show is called Get Sweaty. Basically, a show where we break down the latest in the past week in movie news, sports news, and then where we talk about anything in the sweaty community and what makes us passionate as fans. So it's not just going to be me on the show. I'm going to have two co-hosts. They are Ben Rader and Jordan Anderson. How are you guys? How are you guys doing?
Hey,
Good.
you
Good.
doing good? Yeah.
All right. So yeah,
So,
like I just go ahead, Jordan.
oh no, I'm just gonna introduce myself. Just
Yeah, go
I'm
ahead.
Jordan. I out of Washington, and I'm just one of the sweaties that was brought into the Media Sweaties group as a moderator, and I'm just passionate about movies, sports, just all things pop culture, that kind of stuff. So I'm just ready to get into it and have some fun, just talking about all that good stuff.
There you go. And Ben.
Hi, I'm Ben. I'm in Los Angeles. I'm one of the admins at the MediaSweatyNetwork, and yeah, want to talk movies and stuff.
And like I said in the beginning, my name is Matt Majot. For those who might recognize me, I go by the name Soda over on the Schmoes of the North channel, where I co-host Schmodown 9 Canada Northern Consultations, the interview series. I'm located in British Columbia, Canada, pretty remote from a lot of the things around me. I'm a big hockey fan, big into movies, really big into the arts in general. I've been playing saxophone for like 20 years. That's kind of what I like to do. Is I like to be involved in the arts. Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay. So how about we just? Oh yeah. And basically, as the title suggests, we are fans of John Schnepp. Basically, he is the godfather of the Facebook page that we have. Anything you guys want to say?
The King Sweaty.
Yep.
Yep, the big man.
Yeah, the big man, may he rest in peace. He will forever be missed. So basically, he was the inspiration for this because with his guiding light, it helped us appreciate and show and present to the world what we are passionate about, and that is what we plan on bringing to you with this show.
Yeah, and if it's all right, I was just gonna tell just a quick little experience. I actually had the chance to meet John Schnepp, so that's like one of the highlights probably of my life. He just like a bigger than life personality when you meet him. I got a chance to meet him at Salt Lake City Comic Con because I used to go to a lot of Comic Con on occasion, but and he was just there promoting the death of Superman Lives, what happened, and I went to his panel. I introduced one of my best friends to him, and I got a couple of pictures with John Schnepp, and I met his wife Holly. Also, Robert Meyer Burnett was in the booth next to him, so that was kind of interesting. But yeah, was just hilarious. I don't think I've ever laughed so hard in my life watching a panel. He just cracked me up. And then we got to watch The Death of Superman Lives with him.
Yeah,
We did a screen. I got a Blu-ray signed by him, so that's definitely a highlight for me, for sure.
oh man, I'm jealous where I'm located at. You don't really get a lot of that around here. Like we do have a convention in Prince George about 6 hours away, but unfortunately it's been delayed quite a bit because of this whole COVID-19 thing. Yeah.
Yeah, gotta love that.
Yeah.
Yep.
How you guys doing where you are with that? Everything okay?
Yeah, I mean, I'm basically staying put in my house, not leaving. But yeah, all good.
Oh, that's good to hear about you, Jordan.
So things are here in Washington are actually still pretty shut down. They was in different phases, and we're in phase 2 now. So they were supposed to move to phase 3, but that got delayed because the numbers kind of spiked all across the country, and so we're just kind of waiting to see what our governor tells us is going to happen next. Waiting for me, I'm waiting for the movie theaters to open because I mean I was at the movie theater like once or twice a week, so I'm definitely missing that. But I mean. But besides that, though, I mean, besides a few things being shut down, I mean, it's not too different. I've been able to work because I do merchandising at at Safeway and Albertson, the grocery store. So, I mean, I've worked all the way through the pandemic. So, for me personally, it hasn't affected me a lot, but I can definitely see the impact on the community. Definitely, a lot of stuff shut down. So, I feel blessed to still have work through this whole thing.
Yeah, no kidding. And like where I'm at, located in BC, like I said, we're pretty remote. Like the nearest town's like 45 minutes away. So like John Roca said, I live in the perfect setting for a horror movie with this whole pandemic going on. But yeah, like we did have a shutdown. Like I was off work for 5 weeks and whatnot. But other than that, things are progressing as normal. And we did make it to phase 3, but now we're seeing a little bit of resurgence in cases. And actually, a lot of stores are making it mandatory where you cannot enter without a mask.
Yep, gotta love that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no problem. So I just got my first mask this week. I don't know, what, about 3, 4 months into the pandemic.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So shall we jump into it then?
Yeah, let's
Okay,
do
so
it.
basically what's gonna happen is Jordan and I are gonna be breaking down the movie and the sports news. Ben will come later on in the show and will join us for the get sweaty portion. He will be around, so don't you guys worry about that. All right, you ready to go there, Jordan?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, Ben, we will shoot minutes. All right.
Okay.
Okay, so Jordan, if you want to introduce this, how we're gonna do this movie news segment.
Yeah, so basically, I'll just kind of bring up a few of the biggest movie stories of the week, and then we can just kind of discuss it briefly, and then just kind of give our quick thoughts on it, and then just go from there.
All right, so if you want to start into the first one there that you have.
Yeah, so just bear with me a little bit. I'm reading a little bit off my screen. Not, I won't be reading everything, but a little bit. So for the first news, okay, so this one's pretty big for me. This is about Amblin Entertainment has announced that they're going to be bringing back the Animaniacs. So it's going to be the animated cartoon series from the with the three. I don't even know what kind of creatures they even were, but they're kind of like space almost looking at creatures that lived on the Warner Brothers lot and just ran around and caused havoc. And it's a series that was produced by Steven Spielberg back in the 90s. And I know as a kid, I absolutely adored that series. It's one of my favorite things to watch. I don't even get together with friends and watch it. And I'm super excited that it's coming back. I actually, at the same Comic-Con where I met Schnepp, I was able to meet all the voice actors from the Animaniacs. So I met
Oh man.
Trish McNeil. She does the voice of Dot. I met Jess Harnell. He's the voice of Wacko, and then Rob Paulson. He does the voice actually of Yakko, and then also Pinky and the Brain. He does all
Yeah.
three.
Oh,
So
Rob Paulson is a very talented man.
yep, he is for sure. So
Yeah.
I mean, so Matt. So what are your thoughts? I mean, did you ever watch it as a kid, or did you have very much
Oh, of
experience
course.
with Animaniacs?
Oh yeah. Like I may be in a remote part of Canada. I'm not completely isolated. So yes, I did grow up
Right.
with the Animaniacs. Loved it, and I still will occasionally watch it. And the beauty thing I like about it is it's got jokes that you don't get when you're a kid, but man, do you get when you're an adult? Like the fingerprints joke. You know
Oh,
what I'm talking about?
right.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. I know
Oh, yeah,
exactly.
and yeah. Every once in a while, I will use the "Hello, nurse."
Yep.
Every once in a
Yep.
while,
I
make
use
my
that
friends
line all the
laugh.
time.
Yeah, no, and Animaniacs is definitely one of my favorites from the '90s. So the only thing I'm worried about is because in Canada here we don't have Hulu, so I'm wondering if maybe it's gonna have like a separate distribution, international distribution with Netflix or something like that, or we have Crave TV up here, which is kind of like our version of Hulu, so it might end up on
Okay.
there too. So I'm really curious to see if we will actually get it because I wouldn't mind watching it.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, for me, I'm just excited that it's all the original producers, all the original voice actors. So that's pretty huge for me. And one of the cool things is when I went to that voice actors panel at Salt Lake City Comic Con, they actually sang the 50 State song. I don't know
Yeah, oh yeah, I know the
if you're
50
familiar
State
with the name.
song.
Every state in the capital. So yeah, that's pretty cool to see live. And then also Jess Harnell, who does the voice of Wacko, he has his own band called it's called Rock Sugar, and so they had a big concert to kind of kick things off for for the Comic-Con head down there, so we got to see him perform with his band too. So that was actually really cool.
Oh, that's pretty cool, man. I'm pretty jealous of you there.
Yeah, he does. It's like pretty hard rock, like almost metal band, but like he's just one of the nicest guys you could ever meet, and yeah, so it was a lot of fun.
Oh, nice. I've only ever been to one convention in my life, and I used to live in I lived in Vancouver about 6 years. I went to the convention down there, and the coolest thing that ever happened to me was I actually have a picture of the '66 Batmobile. That's about it with
Oh,
my
nice.
convention, convention experience.
That is cool though, definitely.
Yeah, no, it definitely was. I wish I was more into my passions back then, like I am now, because it probably would have made my experience a little bit different. Because that would have been 8-9 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, see, for me, when I go to those conventions, I got to be super careful because I think the first one that I went to, I spent over $1,000 just on like photo ops and like autographs and like when I walk in the door, I see all the booths selling like comic books and like pop culture merchandise, all this stuff, and I just keep thinking like I want everything that I can see here, like literally. So it's like take my money now. So I got to be careful, but
yeah, no, I know the
it's
feeling.
fun.
I'm very much an impulse buyer, and yeah, I've got a lot of useless crap in my apartment right now because of that.
Yep.
Yeah.
All
What's the
right.
next story there, Jordan?
So the next one, the first trailer is out for the new movie that's been acquired by Netflix. It's called Devil All the Time, and the movie starring Tom Holland, Robert Pattinson, Bill Skarsgård, Sebastian Stan, Jason Clarke, Mia Wasikowska, Eliza Scanlon, Harry Melling, and Riley Keough. It's Keough. And also Haley Bennett. So, and I saw the trailer and I was absolutely blown away by it. Like, because Tom Holland for sure is definitely one of my favorite actors. I mean, his performance that he does as Spider-Man in MCU alone just blows me out of the water for sure. He's my favorite Spider-Man, and Spider-Man's always been something that as a kid I grew up with. It was the first comic book I ever read and was introduced to. I actually grew up reading it in the newspaper. They had a weekly comic strip for Spider-Man. Yeah, and then from there I just kind of started buying Spider-Man everything, like comic books, T-shirts, posters, just everything. And so when they finally had Tom Holland and they actually had him a lot younger, I actually appreciated that because there are runs of the comic where he's in high school, and then but in this movie though, it's a lot darker take. So basically, I have the synopsis here. It says, this is from Netflix. It says in Knockemstiff, Ohio, and its neighboring backwoods, sinister characters and an unholy preacher played by Robert Pattinson, and a twisted couple played by Clark and Keough, and a crooked sheriff played by Sebastian Stan converge around young Arvin Russell, which is played by Tom Holland, as he fights the evil forces that threaten him and his family. So it's definitely not a superhero movie. It's definitely like something totally different and like that you really haven't seen Tom Holland play. And I think that's really great, kind of like a breath of fresh air to see him in a totally different role like that. And also seeing Robert Pattinson, I think it's just one more thing I think that's really going to solidify him as the right choice to play the Batman. I mean, if you've seen Robert Pattinson in roles like in Hell or High Water or The Rover, things like that, he's not just what most of the general public just remember him from Twilight. He's just some sparkly vampire or whatever, but like he definitely has some acting chops, some solid acting chops, and I'm excited to see him as the Batman. But I'm excited to see him in this movie first in the Devil All the Time. So I don't know exactly what the release date is. I know it's set to come out this year though, before the end of the year. So it's something that I'm definitely going to be watching for.
Yeah, that sounds like a great cast, and her name is Riley Keough. She is the granddaughter of Elvis Presley.
Keough.
Show some respect. Keough, yeah. No,
oh, she is? Okay.
That's Elvis's granddaughter, yeah. And she's a great actor. I really loved her in Mad Max Fury Road. She was the pregnant wife of, what's his name?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, she was
she's
the
a very
only
good
name that I
actor.
didn't
Yeah,
recognize.
yeah, no, she's actually
So
done. She was also in Logan Lucky, and she's done a few roles. She's making a name for herself. But yeah, looking at this cast, man,
awesome.
this is an amazing cast, and that's what I love about Netflix. One of the things I love about Netflix is they're able to attract all these like big names for these scripts, and a lot of them are pretty darn good. And I'm actually looking forward to this because, like you said, it is something that is outside of Tom Holland's wheelhouse. Like we've never seen him do anything like this before. Usually it's a superhero thing or he was in that one disaster movie with Ewan McGregor. It's gonna be interesting to
Right.
see him take on. I guess this is what a supernatural movie. I guess he.
Yeah, it looks a little
Yeah.
supernatural, and it definitely has
So
some real dark tones to it. It's kind of in the South, where some kind of like a mix of like supernatural and some sinister things going on, and so yeah, and it's just about him trying to protect his family from all this crazy stuff that's going on.
yeah, no, this is definitely gonna it's propelled to the top of my list. I can't wait to sit down and watch this. I think this is a movie that I think would play well with a group of friends.
Yeah, and especially during the pandemic, like that's one thing about the pandemic when all the movie theaters are closed. It just kind of got me seeing a lot of more kind of smaller films and not really watching the huge blockbusters as much. And so it's been a really fun time for me to just kind of check out all these smaller films that like I just barely introduced my wife to Uncut Gems and the Peanut Butter Falcon. Those are two she hadn't seen, and so we've been
Nice.
kind of going back and watching some of those smaller films because I think those are the ones that really play well on your home TV and right in your living room and stuff. Those are just perfect for
Oh,
that. So
for sure. I unfortunately still haven't seen Uncut Gems, but I did see the Peter Butter Falcon, and that is a really, really good movie. It's a shame it didn't get more buzz.
yes, I know definitely. Well, all
Okay,
right.
so what's the next one you got?
All right. So the next one is Apple TV. They just released a trailer for a new comedy series called Ted Lasso. So it's a comedy about a former football coach who is recruited to coach professional English football, aka soccer, and it is he's totally clueless about the sport and the English ways, but he has a big heart and inspires his team to greatness. And the main role is played by Jason Sudeikis, and so and one of the things that kind of drew me to this is like I'm someone who always likes to check out all sports. I mean, I'm a lover of pretty much every sport. My wheelhouse is really basketball. I mean, I love NBA, but I mean, I love checking out pretty much. I mean, I'll watch any sports. I just am a diehard sports fan. So I'll even check out soccer from time to time. And they had on one of their broadcasts. I remember this years ago. This is like 6-7 years ago. But they had them come on and they made a little mini kind of short film of the character Ted Lasso just being this clueless guy who just goes over and just interacting with all the soccer players there, and they make him a coach in the short film. They make him a coach of a minor league team, and then I think in the feature film he's actually going to be coaching a professional team if I'm not mistaken. And so, but yeah, it just looks hilarious. He's just like totally clueless about the English ways. He just only knows about American football, and so just crazy hijinks ensue. But the middle of it all, it looks like it actually has a lot of heart, where he really inspires his team and to just be better. So
Kind of reminds me. There's a show in Canada up here. I don't know if it's ever appeared on in the states called Mr. D. It's about a high school basketball coach. It kind of reminds me of that. Guy's not exactly the
okay,
most talented person, but he's got a lot of heart. Everybody loves him, and yeah, he helps his team get better. It kind of reminds me of that, but it is something I would definitely be willing to check out because Jason Sudeikis, man, that guy, he's got a lot more range than people give him for. Like all you gotta do is take a look at the movie Colossal, and I didn't see that coming where he was the bad guy. I really didn't.
oh yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah, I love
he's a good actor.
that movie. Yeah, and then I'm trying to
Yeah,
remember the name
no,
of the movie where he was with Jennifer Aniston and they have to go on like a drug smuggling run with
We Are the
his
Millers.
yeah, but we're the Miller. I love that movie. That movie always cracks me up. So
Yeah, and another little bit of trivia: his uncle is none other than George Lynch, who played Noam on Cheers.
oh really? Oh, I had no
Yeah,
idea.
they're related. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Cool.
Oh,
What's
all right. What do you got next?
All right. So the next one I have is AMC theaters and Regal theaters that they just announced this past week that they're going to be opening their doors to start showing movies again this upcoming Thursday, and they're going to have AMC is actually going to offer this thing over there where they're only going to charge 15 cents a ticket, and it's going to kind of harken back to when they first opened back in 1920, and then there's going to be a few other small theater chains opening also, and some chains like Cineplex, Marcus, Harkins Theater, some chains like that, and then but without going into too much of the specifics, they are going to definitely have people be required to wear masks. They're going to have some strict cleaning regulations where they're going to have some electrostatic sprayers. They're going to spray the theaters down with, I guess, and they're going to have some HEPA filter vacuum cleaners. They're going to have these things that I was actually reading about the other day. They're called MERV 13 air filters. They're for the air conditioning system. So hopefully it'll help the spread of the virus that way. So I mean they really are taking quite a few precautions. So I mean that's definitely a good thing. And for me, like I'm someone who like I'm not probably as worried about the whole pandemic as most people. I mean I will wear a mask when I'm asked to. Like if a business says hey, we require that you wear a mask when you enter. I have no problem doing that. My work actually requires us to wear a mask while we're working, so I'll do that. But generally, I don't wear a mask. I mean, I only do it when it's really required of me. And so, I mean, it's somewhere where if I go to the theaters, I mean, just to be able to go back and see a movie on the big screen, I mean, I'll wear a mask. I'll wear whatever you want me to wear. I mean, I want to just go back and enjoy movies again. So, I mean, I don't know how you feel about it, Matt, but I mean, what are your thoughts? I mean, are you someone who's wanting to run back to the movie theater, or are you a little hesitant? Or
I'm in the same boat as you. Like I'm not necessarily worried about myself when it comes to the pandemic. I will wear a mask if I have to, if it's required. It don't bother me one way or another. But yeah, I will gladly go back to the movies. Like I love going to the movies. Where I am at, we don't have a big theater chain. It's just a small 2-theater building.
okay,
So, and I mean, it's only full if it's like Avengers or a big movie. So it's really, social distancing will not be a problem.
Yep. Right.
I do miss going to the movies. My theater, I'd say about a month or two ago reopened, or a month and a half ago reopened, but they've only been showing older movies. Like they just had Back to the Future. There was Jaws. They did Jurassic Park. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to go because they haven't opened every night, and the nights they are open, I've usually got ball or something like that.
Right.
But yeah, I know I can't wait for the movies to open properly. It's not going to be the same as it was before. I know that much, and I'm interested to see what the experience will be like. But I personally can't wait to hop back in.
Yeah, and I don't know if I'm going to be too excited to just maybe go buy popcorn and a hot dog or something like that. That for me, I may hold off for just a time or two or so. But I mean, I have no problem being there in the theater. I mean, whether I'm sitting next to someone or not. I mean, I'm sure they're going to have some precautions where they're going to keep people social distance and all that. But I mean, I'm totally fine. I'm excited.
Yeah. So what? Okay. So we're on to concessions briefly. What are some of your favorite concessions? I personally stay away from popcorn because it makes me quite gassy, and nobody wants to be around me if that's ever the case. What do you like to eat when you're watching a movie?
Usually, I either just I'll either grab up some red vines or I'll definitely do either nachos or a pretzel. I'm also not a big popcorn fan either because all the shells, they get stuck in my throat, they get stuck in my teeth, and I just never been a huge popcorn fan. But I'm no stranger to a giant pretzel or a hot dog. I mean, I'll definitely go there.
I don't know if they have it in the big theater chains down in the States, but in Vancouver when I lived there, because we have our Cineplex is our big thing. They actually had an ice cream bar where you would make like bigger versions of McFlurries. That was my go-to every time I go to the theater. Oh yeah, I loved it. You could have either a chocolate, vanilla, or like mix it half and half, and then put whatever you wanted on.
All right, on.
Oh, I miss it so much. Yeah.
Yeah, and definitely ices too. I forgot ices is actually probably my number one thing. Actually, now that I think about it, I definitely I get an icy almost every time. So So it's like basically like a slushie. So you just get like a
Okay.
frozen drink, and they have like all kinds of different flavors. Especially, so I actually used to work at an AMC theater. That I worked there probably up until about a year ago, just because I had it kind of as a side job because I wanted to get free movies, and employees get free movies. So I
Yeah.
wanted to do that, and then my goal was eventually to get free movies and then review them online. But I mean, with the whole pandemic thing that's going on, I actually found a much better job opportunity, and I was only doing it part time, but still, it's the opportunity that I found was just too hard to pass up. So, and they wanted me full time, so that's what I'm doing.
It makes sense. You gotta do what you gotta do. Like personally, one of my two dream jobs would be to be run the camera in a movie theater. I've always wanted to do that.
Oh yeah, that's a lot of fun. I've never been the main person, but I've definitely like kind of been like an assistant, you know. So I've seen how the whole
Oh,
process
nice.
works. So it's definitely a lot of fun.
Yeah, no kidding. So okay, so
Yep.
what else do we have in there for movie news?
So see, I'm gonna bring up a list here. So there's been a lot of movies with the whole pandemic that have. Let's see. And can you still see me on screen? I don't know if I just
Oh yeah,
froze.
no, you're good. You're good.
Okay,
We can
cool.
still hear you, so that's perfectly fine.
Okay, so I just opened up a
Yeah,
little link here. Sometimes
just a little bit of inside information for people. Jordan is actually recording this on his phone. Hopefully he will have a computer soon.
yes, within about a month and a half, I'm getting either a new computer or it fixed. So I'm just making it work for my phone now. But I'm just gonna name off some of the big movies because my opinion is that if they're gonna open movie theaters now and they're gonna be firm on that and actually hold firm to it, that like I don't think that we're going to really see too many movies get pushed back very often because of the virus. I mean, you never know if there's a big spike. Obviously, that could change things. But I think for the time being, a lot of the movie studios are pretty firmly set in their dates, which is kind of nice to see. I mean, we've seen like movies like Tenet get pushed back what 4, 5, 6 times, you know. So it's kind
Yeah,
of but. Some
yeah,
of the movies I was just going to go through and just kind of name off a couple of big ones. I mean, the first movie that well actually so I actually heard a rumor. I don't know if you wouldn't even know anything about that being from Canada. I was looking at the box office and the SpongeBob movie opened and they actually had numbers from Canada. I don't know if you even knew that, but I
yeah.
didn't know
That's
that movie
actually a
was
movie. Yeah, that's a movie. That's actually I think here in my town right now. Yeah, no, that's one of those movies that they've put out.
yeah. So that one's definitely out, and then they have that new Russell Crowe movie. It's called Unhinged, and so.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's the other one. That's the other one that's playing in the theater. I didn't realize that was a new one.
Yeah, yep. So that movie looks pretty intense from the previews that I've seen. It's like about Russell Crowe with road rage. So, but let's see. I'm just going through the list, and then actually, my number one most anticipated movie of the year actually came up with a list on social media that of my most anticipated movies of the year before the pandemic even hit. And my number one was actually Bill and Ted Face the Music because I'm just a
Oh yeah.
huge fan of Bill and Ted, and I've been so looking forward to that movie. I actually uh, watched them with my wife. My wife has seen them for the first time just a couple of months ago. It's just one of those movies that slipped through the
Yeah,
cracks
yeah.
for her. And so yeah, I'm
What
definitely.
were her thoughts on the movie?
She loved them. Yeah, she had a good time. She was definitely like laughing a lot, and then afterwards she was like, "Man, that was so awesome! Like I don't know why I waited so long to watch that. Thank you for showing me that." So.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah, that movie is up on my list too, and that comes out right before my birthday, so I'm pretty happy about that.
Yeah, and I actually heard a rumor that it's going to be coming to VOD actually, and I
That's not a
don't know
rumor.
if
That's
it.
confirmed. That's confirmed. They're going to
Okay,
be releasing it in
yeah,
certain select theaters, but it's also going to be in VO release VOD same day.
right. So I wonder how that's going to kind of play out because I know for Washington, since we're in phase two, when all these theaters open, they're not going to open immediately where I live. I'm going to have to drive about 2, 3 hours just to get to some of the more smaller rural areas to
Oh
find the
wow.
theaters that are actually open. And so I'm hoping that they're going to have Bill and Ted there. But I mean, it's something where like I've been so excited for that movie. I'd rather see it on the big screen, but even if they charge a premium price on VOD, I'm going to pay it It's like, just take my money, and I'm already
Yeah,
sold.
yeah, ditto. If it appears, if it does come in my theater here, hands down, I'm going to see it. But yeah, same as you, I'm going to watch it no matter what, even if it is on my home screen.
Yep. And then also coming out on the same day, I think, as Bill and Ted on the 20th, we have the New Mutants finally coming out after like, I don't know how many years. It was supposed to release in like 2017 or something.
Yeah, some
And
of
that,
that. I'll believe that one when I see it. When I actually see the movie
right,
poster in the theaters, then I'll believe it.
right. So that one's supposed to be coming out. Let's see. And then September 3rd, we're gonna have Tenet finally. So that's one that's kind of like the same way. Like, I'll believe it when I see it,
Yeah, but that
but
one I think they're gonna open international first before it hits the States, is what I've been hearing on that one. I might be
true, yeah.
wrong.
No, I have heard that. So hopefully, I mean, I have no doubt it's going to perform well. I mean, it's Christopher Nolan. I mean,
Yeah,
his movies never are failures at the box office. So,
definitely. Now,
um,
what's your favorite Nolan film?
my favorite Nolan film actually is probably Interstellar. Like, that movie just kind of hit me, and I like those kind of movies about space exploration and that kind of thing.
Oh yeah,
And like, I remember at like one point watching it, I went and saw it with my brother and my sister. And there's one point where we're just watching it, and when he's about to like leave the ship and jump into that black hole, we're just looking at each other. We're like, what's happening? What is going on?
yeah,
Like, it's just blowing our mind. We're just like, we're no idea what's happening, but we're there
yeah.
for it. I mean, we're gonna go on the ride.
Yeah, no, mine is. I'm a big fan of The Prestige. That I have to say would be mine, followed by Batman Begins.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
probably Batman Begins. That's my favorite of the Nolan Batman trilogy for sure.
yeah,
So
ditto.
I love
Like,
Batman
not
Begins.
taking away anything from Dark Knight. It is an amazing movie, but when it comes to personal taste, it's Batman Begins is the one I will watch more and more.
Yep. Same with me. And then let's see what else on the third. Also, we have the King's Man coming out, which is the prequel
Yeah,
to to the Kingsman, the Secret Service. So I'm pretty stoked for that one. I've enjoyed all the trailers that I've seen so far with Ralph Fiennes kind of in the what was the Colin Firth role? Yeah, so
yeah.
he kind of takes over that role, and so yeah, I'm definitely excited for that one.
Yeah, me too. I didn't mind the Golden Circle, but I hope this kind of harkens back to the first Kingsman, like kind of like more laid back, not so much in your face with the overlandishness.
Yeah, kind of in your face. It's almost like a cartoon in some ways. So
It was some of it definitely worked, but it was mostly miss on that one.
yeah, yep. And then see, moving into October, we're gonna have Wonder Woman 1984. So that's gonna be
Yes.
a huge one. So
Oh, I can't
I'm
wait for
just,
that one.
yep, same with me. I'm just kind of curious how they're going to explain bringing back Chris Pine, but he's back after he died in the first one. So
Yeah.
spoiler alert. But
Yeah, no, it's
but yeah,
it's
so,
that's probably my most anticipated film of the year outside of and then Bill and Ted would be number two. Just because I'm a big comic book movie fan. When it comes to the comic books themselves, I'm more DC than I am Marvel. But when it comes to the movies, I'm
okay.
more Marvel than I'm DC. But nice, Ben. Oh yes, right there we go. But yeah, no, I'll watch any comic book movie that comes up, no matter what it is.
Yep. Yep, same with me. I've always kind of leaned more towards Marvel. I kind of grew up with with Marvel,
Yeah,
but I mean, I'm definitely like for DC that core uh, Justice League, anything from that, like Wonder Woman,
yeah,
Batman, The Flash, all of that. I'm definitely excited for anything from that group right there.
yeah. Me also. Like one of my tattoos is a DC Comics tattoo from the
Oh
comic
yeah.
books, not the movies. Yeah,
Oh, right on.
yeah. It's
That's cool.
the Legion of Superheroes
Oh,
with
nice.
it's Lightning Lad's tattoo. One of the founders. He had this in one of the runs, and I just loved it,
Oh,
and I had to get it. Yeah,
oh, nice. That's awesome.
yeah.
Definitely cool. And then let's see. This is October 9th. We have Honest Thief. That's a Liam Neeson movie. It's got Liam Neeson and Jai Courtney in there. But for me, like I've always been a huge Liam Neeson fan. I mean, it's kind of the movies have been hit and miss for some people, but like I kind of feel like like Liam Neeson's kind of doing all these kind of generic kind of action movies, but I think that he's just kind of at the age where like he's got to get them out before he gets too old. So he's
Yeah,
just getting them
pretty much.
all done. And for me, his movies are always one of those like if there's not something I'm super excited about, I'm like, well, there's a Liam Neeson movie playing, that's got to be decent. So I'm always, it's kind of like my fallback for sure.
Yeah, I kind of miss like the stuff he used to do, like movies like Nell and Michael Collins and Rob Roy
Oh
and
yeah,
stuff like that. Like my first introduction to him, actually, oddly enough, was Darkman. But
oh
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, that's a. Have you tried watching that movie lately? It doesn't quite hold up.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah, not so much.
no, but yeah, no, I kind of miss those type of things. But hey, man, those movies that he's doing now, those generic movies, they're doing well. So good for him.
Yep. And then next on the list we have, let's see, we have Candyman. So that's coming out October 16th, kind of
Yeah,
closer to
that's
Halloween.
that's one that I'm curious to see because I only watched the first one for the first time. I'd say a couple years ago. I'm really curious to see Jordan Peele's take on this. Well, he's not directing it, but I mean, like, what
Yeah,
their take on it is. Yeah.
right. Yeah, he's definitely involved in it quite a bit. So yeah, and also I really enjoyed seeing that trailer come out that had all the puppets. Did you see that one? It was sort of like an animated / puppet kind of movie, and that kind of
No,
like,
you're gonna have to send me that. I didn't see it.
yeah, so like it's actually really well done too. It's kind of like really artistic kind of looking, and they just kind of have that kind of like some kind of somber music that just kind of they kind of act out that kind of like the basic general plot that you're going to be getting from the movie, but it's actually really well done for something like that. So when someone told me that, I kind of like laughed it off. I was like, oh, then that sounds a little weird. I'll pass on that. But then I had a friend who insisted that I watch it, and actually I'm glad I did because it was worth it.
Yeah, no kidding. I'll gladly
Yeah,
check that out.
yeah, for sure. Let's see. Let's see what else. So, and going into that next week in October 23rd, we're gonna have Death on the Nile. So that's gonna be the next one from Kenneth Branagh. Kind of, I
Yeah.
don't know if it, and that one's gonna star Gal Gadot, Armie Hammer, Emma Mackey, Jennifer Saunders, Russell Brand is in that. So I mean, it's a pretty solid cast, and Kenneth Branagh is always good at kind of those period piece kind of like murder mystery, that type of thing. So I mean, I always trust him pretty well for those type of movies.
Yeah, I've always enjoyed Kenneth Branagh's directing style. I'm one of those people that I actually enjoyed the first Thor quite a bit. I thought he brought a unique sensibility to it, very balanced well, the fish out of water and the old Shakespearean things. I
Yeah.
think it's going to be good. Pretty much for me with Kenneth Branagh, he hasn't made a bad movie in my opinion.
No, definitely. Yeah, I was a little surprised. Wasn't he the one that directed Artemis
Agreed.
Fowl, I think?
Yes.
And
Okay. Okay. Correct.
and that's one that kind of skipped because everyone that I know gave it like horrible reviews, and so it's kind
Yeah.
of but like as far as books go, like I'm actually someone who's like really huge into fantasy novels. I love reading, like my favorite author is Rick Riordan, so he does all the Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief book
Yes, I
series.
love Percy Jackson. I reread that and the Heroes of Olympus every year.
Yes, those are some of my favorites. So I always look forward to some of these movies, but the movies are kind of like not so good recently. So I'm just kind of,
You know what? I didn't mind the Percy Jackson movies. I did not mind them at all.
yeah, I like the first two. When I got to the third one, I was
Well,
kind of,
they
but
only did two.
they only did two. Oh, so maybe it was the second one that I wasn't so big on. Yeah,
Yeah.
but definitely that first one I enjoyed a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
And then let's see, and then going into to November, we have Black Widow that comes out on November 6th. So that's definitely
Yeah.
one that I've been looking forward to a lot. So okay, awesome. So, but yeah, Black Widow though, that's one that like I never really thought that I really wanted a backstory for Black Widow, but when I saw the trailers, I thought it looked pretty awesome, and the cast is pretty solid too. So, and I guess it's supposed to be kind of like it's definitely set in the past, but it's not like an origin story by any means. It's just kind of like
No,
some of her
it's not.
side missions?
It's
Or
not an origin story per se, but it definitely brings in elements from her past and where she came from. It takes place, believe, between Civil War and Infinity War, if I'm not mistaken. So it's only a few
okay,
years, timeline wise, it's only a few years prior to Infinity War. So yeah, it's gonna be great. Like you said, the cast they've got for that one is lights out. Florence Pugh is hot right now with the
oh
movies
yeah,
she's done. Loved Little
yeah, she's
Women. Loved Fighting with My Family.
yeah, same
And you know,
here, both of
yeah,
us.
fighting. Oh, for sure. Yeah, I can't wait to see it. Granted, it's a Marvel movie. Like I said, I can't wait to see all of them. But yeah, this one is going to be a lot of fun.
Yep, definitely. And then let's see what else we got. I'm trying to see what movies of note that are actually. Oh, so then on November 20th, they're gonna have Soul. So that's the next big Pixar movie coming out. And I remember that
Yeah.
like those trailers almost got me. I almost should have teared just watching the trailers for that. So like I know that like definitely there's been a lot of Pixar movies that just really get your emotions going. But I like Pixar because I mean it's not just for kids. It's a lot of things for adults too that the parents can enjoy or the older crowd. So it's definitely out of any animated movies. I mean Pixar and Disney definitely both of those are always my go-to.
Oh, for sure. You definitely can't go wrong with Pixar. There's always every time you watch those movies, there's always something new that you'll learn from it. I personally can't. I can't wait for Soul just because, like I said, I'm into the arts. I've been a musician for 20 years. So I think that's gonna hit home a little more for me. So yeah, I can't wait to see that. Absolutely.
Yeah, and for anyone who's not real familiar with Soul, Soul is actually it's about a jazz musician in the trailer you see him just walking down the street. He just barely got this big jazz gig, and he's all excited and like super stoked to go play this gig. And then he falls into an open manhole cover, and he dies, and he's in the afterlife, and it's all about him trying to get back to his normal life so he can go play this big gig. 'Cause this gig is his dream, and that's something he's dreamed of, and so it's just. Yeah, so it's
I
definitely gonna be
I
good.
hope I hope there's not a bing bong moment in there. I'm tired of crying at Pixar
I
films.
I know, right?
Ugh.
Sure.
Okay, so what's
And
next
that
on the movie news list there, Jordan?
so let's see. Basically, I mean, I'm just gonna round out just a couple more movies that are coming out at the end of the year, then that'll do us for movie news. So
All right.
there's a couple more that are coming out. So in moving into December, you have Free Guy. That's the one from Ryan Reynolds where he's like a side character in a video game, and he wakes up and
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
he has
yeah.
his own adventure. Yep, that one looks hilarious.
It does.
I love Ryan Reynolds in pretty much anything that he does, especially after the first Deadpool. It's like after that, I'm sold. I watch anything that he does.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds is he's a Canadian national treasure.
Yep. That's right. He's from Canada, so
Yep, Vancouver
yeah,
represent.
awesome. Yep, and then we also have in December we have Coming to America, which is going to be the sequel for Eddie Murphy's back
Yeah.
with Arsenio Hall, James Earl Jones. They're back for another adventure of the King Zamunda. So, and actually, this is a little secret. Don't tell anyone, but I haven't seen the first Coming to America. I need to get on that.
No worries, man. I saw it for the first time last year.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice. But
No, definitely watch it. It's good. I hope it doesn't fall short like Dumb and Dumber 2 did. Especially since
right,
this one's got a
yeah.
longer gap between movies. Yeah, I don't have high expectations for it, so
Yeah, and I'm
it's
really
good.
just
Yeah,
hoping and praying that that Eddie Murphy has this resurgence and come back like he was in the '80s and just like have another stand-up special that just blows everybody out of the water
yeah.
and then gets back to making movies. But I mean, that's kind of a tough thing because if you look at a lot of his comedy specials, most of that stuff would not fly in this day
Oh,
and age. I mean, it
for
just
sure.
would not.
His comedy style is going to be totally different. But you know what? If Dolomite is my name is a sign of anything, he's gonna be okay.
Yep, definitely. Um, let's see what else is we got here on the list? Oh, then on December 18th, also open the same day as Coming to America, we have Dune, the a remake from Denis Villeneuve. I think that I got his name right. I
Yeah,
hope.
Denis
But
Villeneuve.
yeah, so that one's going to
Sorry,
be
leg cramp.
oh, that's all right. But yeah, that one's going to be huge because I read this quote from Zendaya. She saw an early cut of the trailer for Dune, and she's not even in it all that much.
Wow.
But like she was just blown out of the water from what she saw, and like she was just blown away by the cast because I mean, for Dune, you have Rebecca Ferguson, you have Timothy Chalamet, you have Jason Momoa, you have David Bautista, Javier Bardem, Josh Brolin, Oscar Isaac, Stellan Skarsgård. I mean, so this cast is just stacked, and I never saw the original Dune, but I know that's one thing. That's another shout out to the King Sweaty John Schnepp. He would always go on and on about the original Dune.
Yeah.
I know that's one of the movies he loved, and so it's something that actually probably because he was so high on it. It's something that like I definitely will watch the original before I see the remake for sure. So.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to see the original. I'm not a big David Lynch guy, and I did hear it is very divisive. But after seeing when I saw Blade Runner 2049, I was definitely on board with Denis Villeneuve as a director. So I can't wait to see what he does with this.
Right.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for this. I can't wait to watch it. This is one I would rather watch in a theater.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly. This one's kind of tailor made for a theater. So.
Yeah.
And really, the only other a movie that's on the list of that's pretty noteworthy is a remake of West Side Story, and I mention it because it's going to be directed by Steven Spielberg, so that's definitely going to be huge.
Yeah, but that's the thing with the whole everything that came out with what's his face, Taron Egerton. No, is that?
Ansel Elgort.
Ansel Elgort, sorry, they're all
yeah.
With everything
Right.
that's coming out about him, I wonder what the heck they're going to do with that. Like that's going to be a.
I know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know the whole story behind it, but I know
it's all speculation, right?
Yeah, that's all speculation. So I mean, I don't know what they're gonna do. It's just kind of like the same thing. Like they're gonna have a Flash movie coming up, and they're still trying to work with Ezra Miller. That's another one that I'm kind of like, are they gonna just ignore the fact that he choked out on this girl on camera, or was it really? Were they playing around, or was it serious? Who knows?
Yeah, exactly. It's a very, very weird thing. Yeah, I'm with you there. I'm curious what's going to happen with that. But yeah.
Yep. Let's see here. I'm actually trying to get the link back to get back on camera because that's it for the news now. I'm trying to see if I can.
All right.
Can do this. Bear with me one quick second, but you can kind of cue up the next segment. Let's see. So can you see me now?
Yeah, I can see you. God,
perfect.
Damn, leg cramp.
Cool.
Great time to get a leg cramp.
Right. Shoot.
Yeah, Charlie Horse. Awesome. Yeah. So basically, the next segment is we're going to be talking about sports. So like we mentioned, I'm a big hockey fan. And I do know a little about baseball, and I'm also a big wrestling fan. So I'm going to be mostly talking about those. Jordan is into basketball primarily, also into football, and he's also going to talk a little bit about baseball as well.
All right, awesome. So I mean, if you just want to, I mean, I've been kind of running. Sure, yeah, I can do that. Let's see. So for sports here, I'm actually going to bring up a couple of notes that I had here. So. On the sports, so I'm going to start out with just a quick touch on the college football because I thought this was pretty huge.
Oh, yeah.
So here,
it is pretty big.
so like here in the U.S., you have the majority of the conferences they're canceling their season. So I mean, you're not going to see a normal football season, but there are some conferences that are still going ahead with their football season. So and it's mostly going to be in the South. So you're going to see like the SEC. And the ACC conferences, those are the big conferences, and then a few of the smaller conferences down in the South. And then you also have Notre Dame because they're not in a conference. I guess they're just independent. So they said they're modifying their schedule to play a 10-game ACC schedule is what they say. So I mean, you'll still see some of the biggest college teams. You're going to see some teams like Alabama, Florida State, Georgia Tech, LSU, Auburn. So definitely a lot of those big name teams from the South. But I mean, it's going to be really interesting to see how it all plays out. If they're, I mean, they're definitely, I'm sure, all going to have to modify their schedules and just try to make it work. But I think that the South, they're just sticking to their guns, and they just want to play no matter what. So I mean,
Yeah,
I guess
I'm
we'll
kind of
find
hoping
out.
it doesn't. I'm hoping it doesn't go the way of Major League Baseball, where you're constantly
Yep.
getting series canceled. You've got the St. Louis Cardinals ignoring protocol and going to a casino or something like that. Like,
Yeah, right. That's crazy.
You've got two leagues right now that are actually showing that you can actually have your games and stuff like that successfully while following lots of protocol. Like the NHL is
Right.
doing an amazing job, and same with baseball. I mean, basketball. I mean, I don't know why
Yeah,
it's
basketball.
hard for the other leagues to not get their head around it. You know?
Right. Yeah. It's like, and even in like NFL, you have teams, so they're letting each individual team decide whether they want to play in front of fans. And so I've heard
Yeah.
that one of the biggest standouts is the Dallas Cowboys in particular. They're saying we're going to play in front of fans. Their owner came out and they said that no matter what, we're going to have fans in the stadium. But they're one of the only teams that I'm really hearing that they're really sticking to their guns on that. So I mean, I guess I don't know if they have something to prove. They're America's team or whatever. I guess I don't know, but
Jerry Jones is a nut job. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah, I hope it goes well, but please God, just follow the protocols. Like, yeah, bring fans in, but be smart about it. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, and I've heard some kind of crazy things, like they want to make fans sign a waiver that in case they get sue or like whatever it is. I don't know, but
Yeah,
but for me,
I've
go
heard
ahead.
that as well. This is gonna actually play a little bit into something I have on wrestling later, but yeah, I heard WWE is actually going that route, but I will talk about that in a few minutes.
All right. Oh, cool, right on. And yeah, so I mean, definitely. I mean, I'm not a big Dallas Cowboys fan. I actually can't stand them. Sorry, Winston Marshall. I know you're a huge Cowboys fan, but I am not. My wife is a 49ers fan. I'm a Seahawks fan. So because I'm from Seattle, but I've always rooted for the Seahawks. I moved from Idaho. I kind of grew up in Idaho and Utah, and they've always been my home team, the closest team to home. So I've always followed the Seahawks. So, but let's see,
Yes,
and then
that's kind of how I felt.
and also
that's how I felt
too.
to being Canucks fan. Yeah.
Okay, right on. Yeah, and then kind of going into more of the baseball stuff too. Because of the whole COVID-19 thing, they've had to cancel 29 games this season because of the COVID-19. So I think that's just kind of crazy. I mean, that's like they're. I mean, they're. I don't know why they don't just follow exactly what the NHL is doing or the NBA. They have one place that they play. They follow all the protocols. They do all that stuff, but they just. I don't know. They don't want
to. This may sound like a dick thing saying it, but it seems like a lot of Americans, just in general, have don't like to listen, and I think that's what it comes down to here. Is they want, especially because these guys, the owners and stuff, they just want to make their money, right? And it's not a good thing to do. Like, clearly there is something going on here. You should probably take better steps to make sure your players, nothing happens to them, because like I said, have like the Florida Marlins, what was that, like a month ago, got like 2 teams sick.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, they had a huge outbreak. Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So it's just like, guys, like be smart about it. Like, yes, I love to watch baseball, but I would rather nothing happen to these guys. So yeah, this is what I would do. I was thinking about that the other day. Instead of having like all teams in one in the AL, all the teams in the NL like meet in one city or whatever, I would do all the divisions in their own cities. That way you can have your.
Oh yeah, there you go.
And have too many teams play. That's what I would do. I would do the bubble format, but instead of being in by conference or whatever, I would divide it into the divisions.
Yep. Yeah, that sounds much better than what they're doing.
Yeah. Oh,
for sure.
Anything sounds much better than they're doing.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly. And yeah, for me, when it comes to baseball, like I don't follow baseball as much. I'm actually more of a fan of the baseball from the '90s, like even the '80s too. Like I was a huge fan from the '80s and the '90s. I actually just watched recently that they had a 30 for 30 on ESPN. It's called The Long Gone Summer, and it's about the home run race between Mark McGwire and
Yes,
Sammy
I want to
Sosa.
watch that so badly, but
Yeah,
it's
that
hard
was
to get
so
up to.
good. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
that's what got me into baseball.
yeah, for me, I had to pretty much pay for the ESPN Plus to be able to watch it. So, but yeah,
Yeah,
like I remember
here's an idea how long
when
ago. Here's
that
an idea
whole.
how long ago I started watching baseball. Alex Rodriguez was a rookie with the Seattle Mariners.
Ah, nice.
That's a long
Yep.
time ago.
Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's back. Like I've always been kind of like a low key Mariners fan, just because I mean,
Oh yeah.
since once again the team close to home. But actually in the '90s, I was a big Cleveland Indians fan. And it was back in the days when they had Manny Ramirez on
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Indians. So that was a long time ago. It was like mid '90s or so. So
Yeah,
uh,
my team is the Yankees. Because when
oh
I was watching, well, when I was watching, it was during the dynasty years, right? So that's the team
okay.
I just naturally gravitated towards. And then when I'm really into baseball history. I've got Ken Burns' documentary. I don't know how many times I've watched it. I've got documentaries of the World Series, whatever. There's just something about the Yankees and the history of the Yankees that I just can't help but feel like I get wrapped up in it, and it's just that's why they're my team. There's something
Yeah,
about
right.
them.
Yep. They definitely have that dynasty for sure.
Oh, for sure.
Yep.
Most
Yep.
titles in North American sports, I believe.
Yep. Yeah, most titles. Yep.
Yeah.
And then let's see, moving my bread and butter. So I'm a huge diehard NBA fan. Like I'll be watching NBA all day, every day. Like when there's not any games on, I'll be back. I'll go back and be watching old games. I'll be watching highlights. I'll be watching like just like documentaries on my favorite players and that kind of thing. I don't know if you even hold the camera. So this is a shirt that I got of the upcoming Hall of
Oh,
Fame
nice.
class. So yeah. So you have Kobe Bryant, then you have Tim Duncan in the middle. They even got his dreadlocks he's been sporting now that now that he's retired, and then also Kevin Garnett and
That's why I
Kevin
didn't
Garnett.
recognize him. That's why I didn't
Yep.
recognize Tim Duncan. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. He's got the dreadlocks
That's
now,
pretty
so it's kind
cool.
of interesting. Yeah, and
That's a pretty
then
cool
Kevin
shirt.
Garnett's always been my favorite player of all time. Actually, he's been almost kind of like a hero of mine. I remember just watching him as a rookie when he came out of high school, and he just would just like fight and fight every single year. He wanted that championship so bad. I remember seeing interviews where like even he's in like tears because he's just given everything, his blood, sweat, and tears, and he's not able to really do anything with his team when he was on the Minnesota Timberwolves. And then finally he had to move over to the Boston Celtics, and they had the big three over in Boston. And they finally got a championship, but so it
I
did.
remember that. Yeah.
Yep. So that's definitely something. I don't know when they're going to have the actual ceremony. It's supposed to be like August 29th, but they pushed it back because of COVID. So I don't know when exactly they're going to have it. But it's going to be a huge one, especially with the passing of Kobe Bryant. That's something that really hit me hard. Like when that happened, like probably for like days, I was
Yeah.
in this like funk. It was like just it's really sad.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, I'm not the biggest basketball fan. I've watched games. The only season I watched through was Jordan's last year with the Bulls. But yeah, Kobe's
Okay.
death was definitely. I think that one is not as impactful, but definitely reminded me of when Robin Williams had passed away. Just how it affected how
Exactly.
everybody seemed to have be affected by it in some way or another.
Yeah. Like that's like exactly how I felt. Like I started thinking of like Robin Williams and like some of these bigger celebrities that passed away, and
Yeah,
like you don't really
or
think how much of enough.
more recently, Grant Imahara from MythBusters. That's another one that
Oh
probably for
yeah,
you with
yep,
Kobe
that
is
was
what happened with me
huge.
with that. Yeah, yeah, that was a pretty bad one.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I love Grant Imahara. Actually, he's one of the people I actually got to meet at a Comic Con. I actually met him once, so that was actually something really cool. I'm really glad I got that
That's pretty
opportunity
cool.
because they're doing something for like tabletop. I think so. They had Will Wheaton there
Oh
too.
yeah,
I met him. So yeah, that was definitely a lot of fun.
yeah.
But
I'm
yeah,
currently doing a binge of MythBusters right now. It's kind of filling nostalgic word, and yeah, for the
oh
first
nice.
while, it definitely whenever he would pop on screen, it was like ugh. But yeah,
Yeah, you get those
he's
feels.
gone too
Yep.
soon. Gone
Yep.
too
Yep.
soon.
Way too soon. Yeah, but yeah. So when it comes to basketball, NBA, I just love it all. Like so like it's funny. I started making a list of all my favorite players, and I thought I was going to read out a list, and it's a list of like 20, 30 players long. Like I could go on forever. So I'm probably not gonna
No,
gonna
it's
get
not.
into all of it. But I mean, like basically any team from the West, diehard West. My favorite team is the Clippers, so that's my number one team because as a kid I always rooted for the underdogs, and so the Clippers were horrible for
Yeah.
so many years, and I wanted to just see them win, and now they have one of the best teams in the whole league, so that's something that I'm definitely like super excited about. So I'm definitely excited for Paul George and Kawhi Leonard playing out there. They just got that dynamic duo, and they probably have one of the best benches in the whole league. So they're solid for sure.
Yeah, no kidding.
But yeah, and also just a couple of quick news stories to just kind of just run through quickly. It's just so they've had was a report coming out saying Jason Kidd, he's a front runner to be a coach for the New York. So because he's actually been in contention before. I think that he coached the Brooklyn Nets for a season,
Yeah.
but he's someone who was always one of my favorite players growing up, and so I really hope that he gets that job. Actually, my wife is kind of a little bit of a New York Knicks fan. Also, we're both Clippers fans, but her ex-husband, who actually passed away, he was from New York, and he would root for the New York Knicks. So it's something that's kind of she's always paying attention to them. And then also I was reading about how this yep. And then also I was reading about how the Spurs they didn't make the playoffs this year, the first time in 22 seasons, and so now they have all these teams looking at Popovich, like thinking he's going to just leave and go to some other team, especially the Brooklyn Nets. They're going hard for him, thinking that they're going to be able to get him and that he'll bring him in some kind of championship. But I kind of feel like he is his team. He's not going to leave. He's not going anywhere. I mean,
yeah, the only
what do you think?
way I could
think
see. I was gonna say the only way I could ever see Pop leave the Spurs would be if the Nets offered him an insane, like if they backed a dump truck up to his house and with a check saying name your amount. Like that's the only way I'd ever see him leaving the Spurs. I think he's a lifer there.
Right. Yep. And then, so just one thing that I wanted to kind of transition over to your side of sports. I was going to say, if you want to talk about hockey and wrestling, one of the things I was going to mention real quick, we're getting a pro hockey team. So yeah, I'm like super stoked for it. So they're going to be called the Seattle Krakens. And if you go on and you watch all the promo material for it, it's freaking awesome. Like just go into YouTube and just search for the Seattle Krakens, and like they have some pretty sweet stuff. So like when they start having games, I definitely want to go because I love going to hockey games. I mean, hockey's one of the like probably the most fun games to watch live. So
yeah, that's one of the things I miss the most about living in Vancouver is going to the hockey games. Like I lived down there during the 2011 Stanley Cup Finals when the Canucks went to Game 7 and unfortunately the fucking fans rioted. I was also there downtown Robson Square watching on the big screen when Sidney Crosby scored the golden goal against the Americans, surrounded by thousands of my fellow Canadians. It's probably my favorite moment that's ever happened.
That was a huge moment.
Oh, God. My favorite thing is I had some Americans standing next to me, so when Parise tied the game, they're like, yeah, we're going to beat you. You guys are going to lose, blah, blah, blah. As Crosby scored, I turned around to make fun of them, and they were gone, nowhere to be seen. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, I've been a hockey fan since 1997, and I've been a ride or die Canucks fan since day one. It's probably the same case as you with the Seahawks, is because they were the closest and because they were in Vancouver. What got me into the team was actually what is considered one of the worst moves in Canucks history was when Mark Messier signed with the team. So I personally don't hate his tenure just because it's what brought me into the Canucks because I knew who he was prior to that. Like obviously him and Gretzky, I knew who those guys were. So yeah, I've been with them since the dark times. I've been with them since the West Coast I was there during the finals. I'm gonna be a blue and green fan. Preferably, I wish they would go back to the skate jersey. But I'm a big Canucks fan till I die. So right now, watching them play, they've got 6 straight wins. Tonight, as we're recording, they're hoping to go take a 3-0 lead against Seattle, St. Louis Blues. So it's gonna be fun. And you know what? With Seattle, that's going to be a great rivalry because I know a lot of people from Seattle would come to Vancouver games. So it's going to be an intense rivalry. I can't wait, and I can't wait to get their jersey too. That's going to make jersey number 48 in my hockey jersey collection.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yeah, I used to make too much money. But yeah, So basically, there's really not a lot really going around in hockey right now, because that's the thing about hockey. Like, there's no controversies, there's no major news stories. Really, the only one that happened this week was 2 days ago. Claude Julien, the coach of the Montreal Canadiens, had to be taken to hospital and out of the bubble because he had chest pains, and they actually had to put a stent in his heart. So
Oh,
he's
geez.
actually right now he's recuperating, he's resting. Thank God. I've got a little bit of animosity towards him because he was coach of the Bruins in 2011, but I'm
Okay.
glad everything worked out fine, and I hope he comes back next year and stuff like that. But yeah, other than that, there really hasn't been much other than the usual people bitching about goalie ref calls and stuff like that. That's really par for the course. But I'm not gonna lie, everything is pretty amazing. Like, watching it, they pipe in fan sounds. Like, I don't know if have you been watching any hockey during COVID?
No, I really haven't. But I definitely want to for sure.
Okay, so it got a little weird at first not seeing the crowd, but it's taken on a life of its own. It's kind of cool to hear what's going on the ice. I'm really enjoying the action that we were getting, because the blessing in the skies with the layoff was that all the teams were able to get health. That's really the
Yep.
main takeaway I had of this. All teams entered this playoff format at 100%, and teams that you wouldn't expect are doing well are doing well. Like Montreal Canadiens eliminated the Pittsburgh Penguins coming out of the qualifying round. Like,
Oh, wow.
nobody would have thought that happening. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was nuts.
Geez.
Like I said, the Canucks are aiming for their 6th straight win tonight, again, their 3rd straight against the defending Stanley Cup champions, who I'm probably jinxing it, but I'm going to say it, who look like they just were ready to go home. Honestly,
Yep.
like they're slowly starting to come on, but yeah, we're getting quality hockey, and I'm excited for it. I can't wait to watch the game later tonight. And when it comes now into the other sport I do, like, I've been a wrestling fan since I was a little kid. That's one, though, I wish they had never come back during COVID, the WWE. I really, really wish they didn't. That's the one.
It's been a little awkward
just
to get.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do
just
you watch?
see him playing in like an empty arena. Yeah,
Do you watch?
it's really weird.
Yeah.
Um,
Do you
so
watch
I
wrestling?
I'll watch all. So I watch all the big events. So like if it's on like a
Okay.
like a WrestleMania or like a SummerSlam, or I watch the Money in the Bank event. Like I watch some of like the big ones. So
Okay, so you're like me,
I'll
because
definitely
really
see
there's
this.
just so much content that's hard to keep up. So really, I only watch the pay-per-views. So yeah, I'm in the similar boat
Yeah.
as you. But they're actually taking a step out of their performance center, and I don't know if you'd heard this, but they're actually reaching an agreement with the Amway Center Orlando to actually start hosting their shows there.
Oh, awesome! That's good.
Yeah, starting with SummerSlam next weekend. So yeah, you might actually see fans at wrestling events. Probably gonna be very limited, mind you. But yeah, they're slowly taking the step up, and but the thing is, because they're in Florida, I'm a little worried about it, because that's where a lot of the major spikes have happened, and that's where a lot of the
Right.
heads have.
I think it'll be pretty interesting. I think it'll be definitely a good thing for sure. Just to kind of take a cue once again from the NHL and the NBA, just kind of have their own little bubble where you can go there, you can quarantine, you can all be in one space. But I don't know how it's going to be having fans there. But I think that like wrestling, you really need fans there. Like it just feels so weird not having fans there. And you can kind of do it like I know NBA has had they had like virtual fans, so they have big screens, and they have like people watching from their home computers or whatever. And that's a little kind of
Which is
hit and miss
cool.
for me. I mean, yeah.
It's still better
So I
than
mean, I don't
baseball is
know.
doing. They've got cardboard cutouts for fans.
Yeah, right. And you have to pay a premium price just to have a cardboard cutout. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like I'm definitely like pretty interested to see how it goes. I mean, it's kind of like a wait and see, like how it turns out for him. But I think it'll definitely be a positive thing, step in the right direction for him. So hopefully, I mean, hopefully they can get some fans in there. I don't know how it's going to work. Like you kind of mentioned, maybe they're going to do the waivers and stuff too. So hopefully they can get some
Yeah.
of the fans back in there, because it just like they'll just keep it from being so awkward. Like I mean, there'll be some big wrestling moments that like normally like you'd want to stand up and cheer and be like, yeah, that was awesome, and they just lose the whole like feeling behind it. You're just like, that's awkward.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and so there's one more story that I'm just going to briefly touch on, because we got to move on to the next segment. And this one actually just happened earlier today, and it's actually kind of scary. A man has been arrested in Florida for trying to kidnap WWE's Sonya Deville from her home.
Oh, really? Ooh,
Yeah, which
and I
is why
didn't hear about
that
that.
lady got an MMA. She's got just a couple hours ago. She's got an MMA background. That's not somebody you want to do that to.
Yeah, yeah, right. You don't want to mess with someone like that. Seriously, I don't know what anyone's thinking. Like, no,
Yeah, and
no
like
thanks.
reading up on it, it's a little crazy. It's like it sounds like he's been cyber stalking for her for a few years, and actually apparently he's been planning this for like 7 months. The whole you should read that story. The whole thing is just cursed.
Crazy. Yeah, I'll definitely have to look into that because yeah, I'm definitely kind of like just one of those people that just follows all the big news stories. I don't watch everything, but I'll definitely look into it.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so next we're gonna bring in our main man there, Ben, because
Hey.
we're gonna be entering sweaty segment.
All
All
right.
right.
Hopefully you didn't fall asleep there. Hopefully you didn't fall asleep there, Ben.
No. Maybe a little. I'm good. All good. All
Oh,
good.
ouch.
So,
Okay, so if you want to introduce this segment, Ben, all yours.
well, this is going to be get sweaty about the community each week. And hold on, let me get into frame a little. Sorry about that. Each week I will be going over a little bit of the community and whatnot, and maybe you guys could come in and help or not. Okay?
Sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. This week, not that much went on, actually. There were, ACN was great on Tuesday with that musical episode. Did you guys catch that?
Yeah, I caught the clips of that. That was pretty darn funny.
Yeah, that's some good stuff.
Yeah, God. I don't have enough stuff to talk about. I'm sorry, guys.
That's okay. Hey, dude,
No,
that's
it's all
fine.
right.
Occasionally, it's gonna happen, and you know what? There is literally so much content out there that it is kind of hard to pick and choose what to talk about, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. That's the thing.
Yeah,
I've
like
noticed
I've
is,
been thinking
I've
of
actually
like
fallen off watching.
yeah, for me, I'll like try to keep up and I'll try to watch like I like sent you guys the other day a huge list of everyone that I really try to watch and basically if I'm being honest with myself, I watch SCN every day and then I watch like the action guys, but I mean other than that I try to keep up with everything else
Yeah.
that I can. I mean I definitely never miss a Schmodown match, that's for sure. But like there's so much content that watch it all and I have all my alerts set, so I have all these alerts popping up 5, 6, 7, even 10 a day, and I try to keep up with it, but it's tough. There's a lot of good content
really
out there, so
It really is, man. I don't know how you do it, Ben. I really don't.
I have a monitor and I have two windows open at the same time most of the
Oh,
time.
that's smart. Smart man.
So
there you go.
I could be watching a couple at once.
Oh,
It's
man, that's
actually
very smart.
fun. And
Yep.
yeah. SEN, I love SEN. I mean, it's great, always gives me a good laugh.
Yeah.
I get my movie news from the John Capio show.
Okay.
And,
Yep. Definitely a good one.
and John Walker, he has a great channel too.
Yes, he
So
does.
maybe,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know how
Yeah, the
I'm
ones-
going to do this.
No
I'm
worries,
sorry?
man. That's the beauty. This is the first episode, so it only goes up from here, right?
Right.
Yeah,
Like,
some of
me
them.
personally, like I was gonna say, me personally, like I haven't watched in a while just because I burn out from everything. But SCN is a go-to. Roka's stuff is also go-to, especially show Strong Style. I love listening to that.
Right.
Yeah,
I love it.
and Dan Merle's stuff.
Oh yeah. I'm so happy for Dan Moro that he went out on his own.
Yep,
I mean,
definitely.
Really, that was the next step.
yeah. I
Yep,
mean,
yeah. For some reason, Dan Murrell's one that I've been watching a lot recently. Like I'm watching charts, and it's been kind of interesting to see what kind of charts and kind of stats he comes up with during the pandemic. He's had to get pretty
Yeah.
creative with that stuff, but it's definitely interesting to watch.
Yeah,
did
for
you
sure.
see that one movie review he did where he had like two of him?
No, I didn't get a chance to watch that one. Which, yeah,
It
which, do you know
was
which movie it was?
yeah, it was for American Pickle. The new Seth
Oh, yeah,
Rogen
yeah, yeah.
movie.
I started to watch that last night. Yes, yes, okay. Yeah, Dan's a very, very creative man. I will give him that.
It was funny that one SCN he was on last week.
Yeah.
The Schmomot went crazy.
Oh, I can imagine. Well, people have been clamoring for him to be on there for God knows how long, right? Yeah.
I mean,
So,
yeah, I'm sorry?
oh no, I was gonna say. So yeah, it was. Is there anything else you wanted us to talk about, or?
I mean, there's only so much I could talk about. I feel bad.
Oh, dude, like I said, don't worry. This is only the first episode. Did you guys watch the Schmodown stuff this week?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. What did
hey
you
guys,
guys
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was using some headphones to kind of follow along, and they just cut out on me. So bear with me 1 second. You guys can keep talking, but I'm gonna try
No
and get
worries.
this figured out real quick. I got a phone call, and then it cut out.
Awesome. Oh, I was gonna say like the embarrassment of riches we've had since they've gone digital is
I
incredible.
know.
Yeah,
Do you have
like the two
a do you
tournaments
have a do you have a favorite match? So
so
recently?
far.
Yeah,
Um,
recently.
yeah, you know what? I'd have to go the finals for the Star Wars tournament. To be honest,
Yeah.
Ace versus Demolanta. That was a great one.
That was a great one. The Ethan local one was great. That was hard to watch, but it
Yeah, oh
was a
yeah, that
great
was another
match.
good one. I felt bad for Roca after that because he was
Oh my
beating
god.
himself up, and he had nothing to be worried about at all.
He had the right answer.
Yeah,
Yes. It came to him too late.
yeah, which unfortunately happens. But I'm glad he announced the other day that he is doing the tournament. So I'm
Right.
glad that he's doing that. That he didn't take the loss too hard.
Totally.
We just lost Jordan a little bit.
Oh
Well,
yeah, what happened to him?
like I said, he's working on he's doing this on a
Right.
cell phone. So there's gonna be some things that happen. What do you think of the matches this week?
Great. I bummed out. I wanted it would have been a major upset, but I wanted Ronnie to win her match on
Oh
Tuesday.
yeah, yeah, and
That would have
she surprised
been
me. It would have been great
yeah,
if
she
she'd won.
did
She
good.
surprised me. Yeah. It's just the only thing that bummed me out about that is it seems like she doesn't know the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not just you, there's a few people like that.
Yeah. But with her though, she's been around a long time with it. So I don't know. That's the only thing I think she could work on. But yeah, no, she did great. Very, very good.
Do you have a favorite small down character?
Jesus. Right now it's Winston.
Okay.
But I'd say like all time is probably Roka
Yeah.
because I can relate
Same
to him a little
here.
bit. Yeah, but right now Winston's the man. Winston's the bomb.
He's been killing it. Swag
Oh,
has been killing it.
oh yeah, for sure. If you'd have told me at the end of the year that Swag would have been would at one point been first overall in the standings, yeah, I would have been crazy.
And I know we can't talk about the match yet from
Yeah,
a few days ago, but it was a great match. That's all I will say.
yeah. No, one. Both of them are great.
Right.
Like I said, I don't think there's been a bad match.
No, not for a while anyway.
So yeah, no, like I said, it's been an embarrassment of riches, and man, with this tournament coming up, it's gonna Oi, and then with Kevin's, it's next week that Kevin Smith is fighting Jericho, right?
28th.
28th, right. Okay,
28th.
yeah, that I'm looking forward to. I'm definitely looking forward to that. And look who's back.
Oh,
And I'm back.
welcome
So that's
back.
the joys of doing this from your phone. You get one phone call, and like the whole system shuts down. And we wigged out on me.
Yeah,
So
no
sorry about
kidding.
that.
Oh, it's perfectly fine. We were just talking about Schmodown. So what do you think of this week's matches?
Yeah, there's some really awesome matches. I thought that it was pretty fun just to be able to see some of the lesser known competitors, just the ones we don't get to see so much on screen with those play-in matches and stuff. My favorite one to watch this week, I definitely like the Adam Collins, Andres Gallegos one. That was a pretty cool one to see those two face off. I mean, I felt that definitely Adam Collins had the little bit of the stronger showing for sure, but I mean Andres, he held his own for sure.
That five pointer that James White pulled. Holy shit!
What?
I know, yeah. I don't know how he.
I don't remember the question. I just remember it was like 3 JTE rules, and it was like right at the last second he pulled it out of his ass.
Wow.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, complete game changer.
McKean Bonnie Somerville, that one cracked me up because it kind of seemed like half the time Bonnie maybe didn't really know what was going on, what was happening, and like Christian kind of looked a little confused too. But I mean, she actually like held in there to the very end. I mean, she actually almost came back and won it at the end. Like I was surprised.
Yeah, you could tell she studied. You could tell she studied.
Exactly. So. Yeah, just because you don't know exactly how the format works or you don't watch them all. I mean, if you have the knowledge, I mean, that's the key. The key is the knowledge. So she definitely has that.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
No kidding. So is there anything else in the world of Schmodown you guys wanted to talk about?
No. Matt?
No, I've got nothing. I've got nothing looking forward to talk about on that. So how about we go into our final segment, which is the favorites segment.
Okay.
How does that sound for you guys?
Yeah, definitely.
So, Jordan, you want to explain this one?
Yeah. So, on the favorite section, what we're going to do is this is the segment we're really going to get sweaty, like even more than we already have, and we're going to dive into some of our favorite things we like to talk about, whether it's our favorite movies or like a video game we played. Maybe you have a hobby that you're really interested in. Maybe you read a really good book and you want to talk about it, and then we just kind of break down the things that we all love. And one of the things that we eventually want to do is we want to take questions from the fans. So we definitely want to have a lot of fan interaction because that's a big thing. One of the things that I really love about our Media Sweaty community as a whole is that we built this really awesome community. I mean, Christian has his community, the Action Army, the Outlaw Nation. I mean, all these different communities have just been great, and that's one of the things that's been like one of the things that I've loved the most about this community. So we're gonna put we have an email set up so you can ask questions. We're gonna put that in the description, so you'll definitely find that there. And then if you have any questions on things you want to see us talk about, then just fire them in, and then we'll, if you're lucky, we'll pick your question and we'll be able to talk about some of the things you want to see us talk about. So, and I think today our topic is going to be our favorite movies of all time. So how it's going to work is we each have 5 of our favorite movies that we love, and we're going to kind of break them down. We'll just go one by one, and we'll take turns. And then when it comes to our number 1, you can definitely dive in, tell us why you love it, why it means so much to you, and just kind of just break it down for the people,
Yep.
Sounds good. So Ben, do you want to start us off if you have your list ready?
Well, why don't you go?
Okay.
If you don't mind.
No, I don't mind at all. So my number 5 is Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's actually a more recent acquisition of movie posters on my wall. Is that movie poster? My mom got that for me for an early birthday present. It's
cool.
to me it encapsulates what the perfect combination of comedy and action. You know, you've got something for everybody. It's nonstop action, nonstop laughs, scenarios we can all relate to, because that movie is about the connection with your father, and there's a lot of us that can attest to that.
Yep.
Yeah. So, what are your thoughts on that movie?
Oh yeah, I definitely love that movie. There's so many iconic lines too. Like we named the dog Indiana. Like just like so many funny, great lines, and like
should have
just
mailed it to the Marx Brothers.
Yep. Yeah.
You're not in her sleep.
Yep.
Yeah, that's another good one. Yeah. Oh, I love.
Yeah, for me, like it's just like it's kind of like you can pick any day of the week, and I could have a different Indiana Jones movie as my favorite. So I mean, I could put any of the first three, except for Crystal Skull. That's definitely not going to be as good as the rest. But
I don't hate that one. But I don't hate that one.
Yeah. Well, for me, I guess just the Shia LaBeouf character. But besides that, I love everything else about it. I'm just a little iffy on him.
To me, it definitely falls in the same spirit as the other ones. It's just not as well executed. That's why for me, it's at the bottom of the list of the indie movies.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely one of those iconic movies for sure. And I'm pretty interested to see what they're going to do with the next one. I mean, Steven Spielberg said he's not going to let anyone else play. Yeah, right. Because he said that he's never going to let anyone else play Indiana Jones. It's going to be Harrison Ford, and he's getting up there in age. So definitely, I feel that they'll be passing off the baton in some way or another. So
yeah, for sure. You ready, Ben, or do you want me to go next to Jordan?
No, I'll go next. My number 5.
Yep.
My number 5, 1991's Beauty and the Beast.
Oh,
nice. One.
I love that movie.
Classic.
Yeah.
I love that movie. It is my favorite animated movie. Just the imagery, the story, it gets me. That ballroom scene, that gets me every time.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's no celebrity voices in this.
In Beauty and the Beast?
Yeah.
I'd argue Angela Lansbury.
Emma Thompson.
Oh no, Emma Thompson is the remake. Angela Lansbury is the 91 one.
Yeah.
You're right. God.
Beauty and the Beast for me. So I have a sister. She's about 20 years old now, but she's the youngest of 5, and that was always her favorite movie growing up. And everyone has always said that she kind of looks like Belle, so that's kind of been her nickname. That's her favorite movie. So we grew up with her wearing Beauty and the Beast, the iconic yellow dress all around the house and stuff. So that was a lot of fun when I was younger.
My local high school, their big thing is every year they do musicals, and in 2014 they did Disney's Beauty and the Beast, and I was in the orchestra pit for that.
Nice.
Oh, cool!
It was pretty fun. Have any of you guys had a chance to see Howard yet? The documentary on Howard Ashman that's on Disney Plus.
No, not yet.
No.
Okay, Ben, because you're such a big fan of Beauty and the Beast, I would recommend watching it.
I will. Thanks.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend watching it. Oh God, yeah. The music for that is some of the more iconic film music. Like, who doesn't know Beauty and the Beast or Be Our Guest?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Beauty and the Beast, first animated movie to be nominated for Best Picture.
Yeah, it was the first one too, wasn't it? Yeah. And the thing that surprised me, it's barely over an hour long.
No,
oh wow! Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 70 minutes. It's not long. It's not long.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the other things about that movie for me is that probably, I don't know how, but like I have this thing where I memorize like the most random things from my childhood, and they're like ingrained into my brain. And so that song where she's walking around reading books at the beginning of the movie, I probably have that whole song memorized word for word from start to finish. So if you want to hear me sing it, maybe if we get a good fan donation sometime, down the road,
get sweaty after hours, maybe. Okay,
yep. Yeah. Right.
What's your guys' favorite song from the movie?
That's probably my favorite one. I don't even know the name for that song.
Belle.
When she's
it's
walking.
Called Belle.
Belle. Oh, it's called Belle. Okay, yeah. I've always wondered. Yeah, that'd be mine.
Mine is the famous "Until All This Time," Beauty and the Beast song. I mean, it's
Yeah, you can't
iconic.
argue with that. Oh, for sure.
It's,
You can't argue with that song. That is a quintessential Disney song. Yeah, mine is Gaston.
Yep.
oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, sounds good.
yeah, because I love the character LeFou. That's probably my favorite. But you know what? Excluding, or I'm gonna say this, excluding the song "Beauty and the Beast," that's my favorite because
Okay.
Beauty and the Beast is it's transcendental. You know, it transcends
Right.
Right.
time.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so Jordan,
Okay,
now on to
Jordan,
your number
yeah.
5.
So my number 5 is actually John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum. That's mine because like John Wick is just one of those series that like when the first one came out, it kind of came out of nowhere. Like probably like a month before it was released is when we got the first trailer for it. And I'm a huge Keanu Reeves fan. I mean, people can say what you want about it, but stiff kind of wooden acting. I don't know, like I really enjoyed a lot in it, and like I thought that so like the first John Wick, not too far behind. If I had a top 10, it'd be in the top 10. But I just included one here, and for the third, I just love all the fight scenes, all the choreography, especially that scene when he's with Halle Berry and they're in the Middle East and they're just taking out all these bad guys one after the other with the trained dogs, and they have the dogs just like going up and tackling guys and like biting them and taking them out for 'em. I thought that was super cool, and even the fight scene at the very end, he's fighting that guy at the end, and like it just goes on, and you think they're going to be dead. You think they're just like they don't have any will to just get up and keep going. They just keep going and going and going, and like it's just like some pretty incredible choreography and just I don't know, just the whole thing. I just love it. Well, what do you guys think? What are your thoughts?
I'm gonna say
This
I
is
actually
great.
it's in my library. I haven't watched it yet.
Ooh, oh,
Yeah, I do
that
own it
hurts.
in 4K. I just haven't sat down and watched it yet.
Okay, well, it's definitely something to watch, especially during quarantine. You gotta
Yeah.
check it out.
What do you think about it, Ben?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, it's fun. I think it's my favorite of the franchise.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the action is beautiful to watch,
Yep, for
and
sure.
yeah, yeah. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to ruin it for you.
Nope,
But yeah,
Right?
totally
Yeah.
fair.
It
Totally
just
fair. And I will say this: those movies do take action to a whole different level. I will admit to
yeah.
that. Yeah. Okay,
yeah, just
so my
nonstop
number
action from
4.
start to finish. So
Yeah, no shit.
yeah.
And all because they killed his dog. So
Yep.
my number 4, I'm looking at the movie poster for it right now. It was the Best Picture winner of 1998, Titanic.
Ooh, Titanic, huh?
Wow, nice.
I've I've been in love with that movie since the day it came out. I've read a lot of books on Titanic. I've dived deep into like anything I can get my hands on, all because of this movie. It's just something about it just hits me right in the sweet spot. To me, it's about as good as it gets when it comes to epic historical dramas. Everything still holds up. There is still some CGI in there that you could go back and change because it kind of looks like a 1990s computer game. But overall, the stuff they were able to do with that movie, it's just it's yeah, the movie means a lot to me personally. What do you guys think
Right.
of that movie?
It's great. I don't love it like you do. It's a really good movie for me
Yeah.
when it's about the ship. The
Ah,
whole love story gets a little dicey for me.
okay, fair enough.
Yep.
But I
Yeah, and
love
for me,
everything about the ship.
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ship is actually beautiful. That's probably one of my favorite things is all the set pieces that they have in that movie. Just incredible. The huge set pieces that they're able to
Well, yeah, they built the
have of the
ship to
ship and the big
two-thirds
booms and all that.
scale. Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
It's
right.
amazing.
Yeah, and like one of my favorite movie
But
commentaries is on this movie where they've got Ken Marshall, who is He's a Titanic painter. Like they used a lot of his paintings for storyboards for the movie, and they had Don Lynch, who's like the number one Titanic historian, and they said the attention to detail they put into the building of that ship when they built it, it was like you were on the actual Titanic.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, like, don't hate me, but like, I actually don't. Besides the one thing I have to say about the sets, I don't really care for Titanic that much. It's just one of those things that
it's not
like,
for everybody, and that's the beauty.
It's like I understood that
it's all subjective.
Yeah, because I've actually like I don't really understand the real hype for James Cameron movies. Really, I mean, I love Terminator 2. That's probably my favorite James Cameron movie. But like I don't even really care for Avatar all that much. I remember seeing it in 3D, and I just didn't really grab me that much. And also at the end of Titanic, they're both sitting there on a piece of driftwood, and there's enough room for both of them on there to live, but Jack has to just like slide into the water. It's like, come on, you can both live, you can both survive.
Yes. First things, yes, surface area you'd be able to do it, but buoyancy you wouldn't without the extra support underneath it. Like the Mythbusters showed this. It is plausible they could have both survived, but it also wasn't likely. And also, if he got on, you wouldn't have a freaking movie.
Yeah, that is true. It's kind of like a big plot.
Yeah, so, yeah. Okay, so enough about my number 4. What?
Yeah.
Sorry? That was just, go ahead. Final thought.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, I do give it big props on the set design for sure, and also the cast. The cast is incredible, too. So for those two, I'll definitely give it props.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so what's your number 4 there, Ben?
And another movie that came out in 1991, directed by Steven Spielberg.
I know what this is. Yes! I'm with you there,
boy.
boy.
Yes. I
fucking love that movie.
Choice.
Yeah. That movie gets so much shit. It gets too much shit.
I know. I don't understand why. I think it's great.
Robin Williams as an adult Peter Pan. Brilliant casting. Dustin Hoffman as Hook. Awesome.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's sad at times. Maggie Smith as really great. I love that movie.
I'm with you. I got that movie on VHS the year it came out, and I remember it was Easter. My grandma gave me an Easter basket, and it was sitting right there, and I think I destroyed that tape. Yeah, and it's an underrated Steven Spielberg. Underrated John Williams score.
100% disagree. I agree.
Hey, one second, I'll be right back. My headphones cut out again. I shall return.
No worries. Yeah, that's a good choice. Yeah, it's a good movie. You can't go wrong with Hook.
Do you want to know some trivia about that movie?
Of course.
Okay, you know when Winnie and Peter are flying to Neverland?
Yeah.
You know they pass a couple kissing on the bridge?
Yeah.
Do you know who that couple is?
No, I don't.
It's George Lucas and Carrie Fisher.
No kidding. Oh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got a lot of cameos in there. Like there's that one I just found out about. There was Phil Collins as a police inspector at the beginning.
Right.
Yeah, and the one that, I was about to say that one scared the bejeebus out of the kid. The Boo Box. Ugh.
I love that movie.
Yeah. Rufio. Oh yeah, Bangarang. Oh yeah, no. That is a good choice.
Okay, yeah. So my number 4 is Avengers Endgame. Actually, so.
Oh wow.
Avengers Endgame. Okay. When I saw that movie, when I saw that movie, I was just blown away, especially from the performance of Robert Downey Jr. in that. Like I can watch that movie over and over again, and I still am gonna cry every time. And Like it just
for sure.
just hits me. And for me, I feel like it's just a masterpiece to just make so many Marvel movies and have it all lead up to this big epic fight scene. And then you have so many epic moments where you just want to stand up and cheer, especially like when they all come through it and in that final battle scene when they come through it in the portals. Like you just hear the Falcon say, "On your left."
2 words: Avengers Assemble.
Yep. Oh, yep. Right.
Yeah.
Avengers Assemble. Yes. Yeah.
Did either of you see that opening night?
No.
Yep, I saw it opening night. I definitely did.
Opening night, still my favorite. That's hands down my favorite opening night experience. Everybody cheering when "On your left." When Cap grabbed Mjolnir,
yep.
Avengers Assemble, like
the Mjolnir,
amazing.
Yep.
I would love to.
Yeah, it was amazing.
That moment again. Yeah.
Yep.
And the score.
Yeah, one of the funny things is, the score. Yep. Yeah, it's definitely awesome. You have the Alan Silvestri score coming back in there, so yep. And one of the funny things is that when I first saw the movie, right, but before it, I like at the very end scene when you see everybody die and everyone disintegrate and all that. So I was actually like hated that part. When I first saw it initially. So I remember just sitting in the theater with my jaw to the floor, and I'm like, "What just happened? They're all dead." I'm like, and I was actually pretty upset because I'm like, well, there's going to be another movie. They're all going to come back, but for Infinity War, they had to kill half of them off, and like I was just like this is so stupid, like screw this. I don't even want to watch Avengers Endgame. I just kind of, but it's only for like the first 5-10 minutes, and then I kind of like had some time to let it all digest and to think about it. I'm like, you know what? That actually like was an amazing movie, and it's going to lead up to something even more epic. And then you have all the speculation now as to how they're going to come back, what's going to happen, and all this stuff. And they definitely did it justice. Absolutely. 100%. I mean, they have so many fan service moments that just pays off to every single movie. It's just like there's so many moments. So,
well, your thoughts on the movie, Ben?
It's great. It's not in my top 5, and I don't know where I put it, but I loved it. The last act is unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's surprisingly funny. There's some great one-liners in this movie. That is
for sure.
Yeah, the ability for the Russo brothers to do what they did with that
that's a great one.
Like to balance all that, it's amazing. Like, what really frustrated me is I think that movie was deserving of an honorary Oscar for cinematic achievement.
Yeah.
They gave it to Lord of the Rings for what they did for 3 movies. This one had 21 prior to it.
21, yeah, right.
Yeah, it's just like that's an achievement. Like to have that long of a runway and to nail the landing, like they deserve something. They really
and every single movie before it was good. Like there's not really a bad Marvel movie. You can say Thor: The Dark World. Some people say a couple.
Yeah.
Well, the Iron Man. I liked all of them. Like I didn't really see a movie that I could just flat out say is a bad movie.
I agree. They're also like definitely at the bottom of the list, but they're not bad movies.
Right.
I mean.
Yeah. Okay, so
definitely.
I guess we're on to my number 3, which is probably one that not many people would have ever assumed. It's the movie Tommy Boy.
Ooh, nice. A classic.
I like that movie. I love movie.
That's a movie that my Uncle Dan showed to me when it came out on VHS in the 90s, and I've been devouring it ever since. It sparked my love for Chris Farley. It is a movie that me and some coworkers quote all the time. Whenever I put on a coat that's a little too small for me, I do the fat man in a little coat. I love it. Richard, hold me. Or, some people a lot of people go to school for 7 years. Yeah, they're called doctors.
There's so many quotable lines. Where's like I'm fixing the end line on the rotary girder. I'm retarded.
Yeah, son of a, that'll leave a mark.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, or every time I encounter somebody who's like they're a little off, I was like, did you grow up under power lines?
Yeah, right. It doesn't hurt so much here, or not here, but right
Yeah.
here. Right here.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Huh.
So what do you think of the movie, Ben?
It's funny. I don't have it in my top 5. It's probably in my top 20, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, I like it. What's my favorite line? Holy Snacky is a great line.
Oh yeah. That's classic.
Yeah.
Brothers don't handshake, brothers hug.
Yeah.
That's another good line.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or
Great
how
movie.
about when Julie sees Rob Lowe and Bo Derek kissing, and she tells it to Tommy, and he's like, "They were kissing." So mothers and son kiss all the time. Each other. Oh.
Yeah. There's so many lines from that movie that I'll just quote in like my daily life. Like I'll be doing like whenever there's a fan, I'll do the Luke, I am your father.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, every
Yep,
time I
so
hear
many.
Ray Charles, What I Say, I always think of that movie. Yeah, I think it's the best of the SNL movies. My personal.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. For me, it's a toss up between that and Wayne's World, but it's definitely one of the best.
Yeah.
Question:
Yep.
Do you consider Happy Gilmore an SNL movie?
Having which one in SNL movie?
Would you consider Happy Gilmore an SNL movie?
No, I wouldn't.
That's pretty
Reason
close.
why- well, no, because in order for it to be considered an SNL movie, Lorne Michaels has to be a producer on it, and he wasn't.
Oh.
I don't think he was on Happy Gilmore. Otherwise, yeah, I would say that's up there too, because that is another great movie.
Yeah, I
Jackass.
know. Okay.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, no, I think that one doesn't have Lorne Michaels as a producer credit. Otherwise, yes, that is definitely in the conversation.
Okay.
Yeah, one thing I want to say also about Tommy Boy, that movie actually has kind of a special meaning. One of my best friends, he grew up with spina bifida, so he had a curved spine and he couldn't walk without the use of crutches or in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
And his all-time favorite actor was Chris Farley. So anything Chris Farley like was his favorite. And he passed away probably about 3 years ago. And we were best friends. He was like a brother to me. And so whenever I think of anything Chris Farley, I always think my buddy Doug Strait, that he's up there with Chris Farley, just partying it up, doing the like whatever like crazy dances or like doing the fat guy in a little coat. He's up there with him, just hanging out, up in heaven.
Yeah.
So
that's a good memory to have, man.
yep.
Yeah. All right, Ben, what's your number 3?
It's iconic. It came out in 1977. And
Oh, I think
yeah, Star Wars:
Yeah.
A New Hope.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah.
What can I say about this movie? I love it. It gave us the best villain in movie history.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, you have Loki. Yeah, you have the Joker. Yeah, Vader is who it is. And yeah, Luke Skywalker, and every everyday kid is given this journey to go on.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I love it. It's my favorite in the franchise, and yeah.
I'm with you there. It is my personal favorite in the franchise. The way I look at Hollywood is before Star Wars and after Star Wars.
Oh, yeah,
Right.
definitely.
Yeah, because that movie changed the game.
Yep.
Definitely.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. It is my favorite in the series.
Yep.
There's so many good moments. You introduced the 3 of the best characters
Yep.
ever created.
The sunset, the dual sunset.
Oh,
That
piece of music.
is
Oh,
my favorite scene in all of the saga.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but it is one of the best. And the piece of music that they use for that, I've played it,
Oh,
and it
Yeah,
is
so good.
beautiful. Yeah, Dual Sunsets. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, I'd have to say my favorite piece of music from A New Hope is definitely a medal scene at the end when Han and Chewie get their medals at the end, and they say that Chewie never got a medal. I guess that's one of the things people
Yeah, he
say
yeah.
never
about
did.
that.
Never got a
But
medal.
Yeah, he never did.
but but that music is just so epic. I
Yeah.
love, like, I'll just play that in my house while I'm doing chores around the house. Just blast it, because it's
Yeah,
that good.
the whole score, like everything, there's nothing bad about that movie.
Nothing.
No.
Hey, what's your number 3, Jordan?
Yeah. So my
Yeah, your
number
number three.
three is Back to the Future Part Two is mine. So I'm definitely a huge Back to the Future fan. I actually at two separate Comic Cons that I went to. Ooh, you got the DeLorean right there. Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
with the wheels.
I actually
with
have a
the
DeLorean
wheels.
too, but
And
oh, nice.
makes noise.
Nice, I love it.
Yeah.
Nice, yeah. Actually, I have the whole
Yeah,
entire
might
pop
be
figure
on
set
my
over in my
list
other room. I'll
too.
have to bring it out maybe on next
Nice.
show.
Yeah,
But
nice.
We
yeah,
might be visiting
for two
that.
separate Comic Cons, for two separate. But yeah, for two separate Comic Cons that I went to, I actually cosplayed as Marty McFly. I had the puffy jacket. I had the rainbow hat from Back to the Future 2. I even
Oh,
had
nice.
the shoes with the power laces. They didn't actually power lace, but they're replicas. So, and I had a hoverboard, and also one of the highlights is I got to meet Christopher Lloyd, and so I got a picture with my Marty McFly cosplay. So we're like Marty in the dock. So that's one of my favorite
That's
pictures that I
awesome.
have.
Yeah, sure,
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So that was definitely awesome.
that movie gets a lot of flack, but man, is it still entertaining as all hell.
Yeah, for me, I just like seeing their futuristic version of 2015, and just like seeing the future, but also seeing it replay all the events from the first movie. And you can kind of
Yeah.
compare how things played out from the first movie to the second movie, and just all the different versions of the future too. How the future Hill Valley compares to the 1985 Hill Valley to the 1955
Yeah.
Hill Valley. You can just there's so many comparisons, and just the story. Like I love everything thing about them. Even the music. The music's amazing. Alan
Yeah.
Silvestri again. So
nice.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
definitely great. I got
definitely one that I watch probably at least like every 3-4 months.
back in 2013. There was a mom and pop theater in Vancouver that was closing down. So their last week, every night they were playing iconic films. So one night it was Big Lebowski. One night it was Godfather 1 and 2. One night it was Pulp Fiction and Reservoir Dogs. The only one I went to, I saw Back to the Future 1, 2, 3, back to back to back
Okay.
in the movie theater.
Sure.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
That
I've
was
seen
Yeah, I'm
one.
jealous because I don't think that I've ever seen it on the big screen. No.
it was pretty cool.
So that
It was long. It
definitely
was
be
a long
awesome.
night. I got out at like 4 in the morning, but damn, was it worth it?
Definitely worth it. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, so my number 2 is what I consider to be the best baseball movie of all time. There is no crying
see.
in baseball. It's a league of their own.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I love that movie.
You want to know something kind of sad?
Sure.
I've not seen that movie. Sorry to interrupt, but yeah, I've not seen it. So that's bad on me. And if it's your number 2, then I gotta see it.
Yeah, treat yourself, man. You got the story about the sisters. That's the central thing. You've got the women trying to fight to get their place in baseball. Just seeing, like, there's so many iconic moments. Like I said, that there's no crying in baseball. It's just such a good. It makes you feel good while watching it, especially because this pretty much happened. It is based on a real baseball league. The Rockford Peaches were a real group. Like, it is actually based in history, and to see them treated so earnestly and with the respect.
Oh, they're
given,
real.
It is a great movie. Like, I recommend you sit down with your wife one night and watch it, Jordan. It is It's beautiful. One of Madonna's best songs. Like Madonna was perfectly cast in the movie. You've got Rosie O'Donnell, you've got Lori Petty, Gina Davis, Tom Hanks, and probably my favorite role of his. Yeah, it's such a great movie. Me and my friend, my one friend Amber, that is the movie we bond over the most.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Right on.
Yeah.
I definitely have to check it out for sure, because I'm sure it's probably one my wife has probably seen. She's seen a lot of classic movies that I haven't seen. She's definitely into older movies, where I'm kind of more into newer movies.
Yeah.
So it kind of works out. We always show each other. I'm showing her the new releases. She's showing me the classics.
Yeah, and it's a movie that still plays today. Like, I mean, you can watch it whenever, and it still works.
Awesome.
All right, so what's your number 2 there, Ben?
Came out in 2017.
Oh,
It's a comic book movie.
Ooh.
Logan.
Take a look in the back there, Ben. Take a look real hard in the back. Recognize that poster?
Yeah, nice. I am.
Awesome.
This is a perfect comic book movie. I
agree.
mean, it gets me every time. I mean, and it was a crime. Hugh Jackman wasn't nominated for an Oscar.
Or Patrick Stewart.
Oh, Patrick Stewart.
Yes, a crime.
Oh, the movie itself.
Yeah, it is a crime.
Talk about the way
Yeah, so
you exit a franchise. I'm sorry?
Nope. No, he's the most
What were
perfect
you
fit
doing?
for any comic book character in history, I think, is Hugh Jackman playing Wolverine, Logan.
Yeah,
I-
and he
I would
went
take that
out
to
on
my grave.
Yeah, you're not wrong, and he went out on such a strong note. I don't want him to ever
Yeah.
come back after that.
Me neither.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
and a spoiler alert is that Ben, you just picked my number 1 movie. Logan's my number 1, but we'll get to that in a minute.
Nice.
So
Nice. My
So,
dad
yeah, I won't-
isn't in
I won't really.
my. Oh, fair enough. I was just gonna say my dad's not really into comic book movies, but because of the Western aspect, he loved that movie.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and especially those first trailers when they came out, when they had the oh shoot, it's like spacing me, the iconic Western singer, shoot,
Johnny Cash.
I'm in a brain fart. Yeah, Johnny Cash. Yeah,
Yeah.
the Johnny Cash music was just like perfect for that.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was. That's another one. Like, I have that song on my phone, and every time I hear it, I always think you can't think of Logan, and after that, can't help it.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, so you're number 2 then, there, Jordan.
All right. So my number 2, which was my number 1 for years and years and years until I saw Logan, that surpassed it. But my number 2, it is the original Matrix movie.
Oh, really?
So
Nice.
yeah. So that movie was just something where I didn't initially see it in theaters when it first came out, because this is a little known fact for me. I grew up in a Mormon household, so I am actually LDS. I go to that church and we didn't really watch a lot of rated R movies. That just wasn't something that like was really like encouraged, I guess you could say. And so I didn't really see a lot of rated R movies. A lot of gaps in my viewing over the years are rated R movies. So so one of my friends actually told me about The Matrix, and he took me to see it, and I was just blown away. Like, my mind was just blown that the Wachowskis could create such a crazy world, and like to just think about, like, what if our whole life was a simulation? What if we're just living in some computer program? And then one of my favorite scenes of all time from any movie where you see Keanu Reeves, and he just walks through into the metal detectors, and he's like, "Sir, could you empty out any metal objects you might have on your position?" And he just opens up his trench coat, just guns, just tons of guns, and it's a huge epic gunfight scene, and they're just flipping over sideways and like doing all kinds of crazy moves, and just it just like blew my mind when I saw it, and it still does to this day. Like, I think that it's a movie that actually holds up pretty well. The first one, the second two, no, but the first one definitely.
Wait, you're telling me they made a Matrix 2 and 3? I'm kidding.
Oh yeah.
I would
We
hope
made
so.
them, but we don't really
That-
recognize them.
That is a movie I've only seen twice. It was not really my jam, but I do respect the fuck out of it.
Okay.
The very first time was against
Yeah.
my will. I was on a band trip and I was forced to watch it.
Yeah.
But no,
I
respect.
see.
I respect the movie. I respect everything
At least
about the
you
movie.
saw
It's just, yeah. Like I said, it just didn't grab me, but I admire it. I respect it, and I hope with this possible fourth one, they can capture that same magic of the first one.
Yeah, I really hope so. And that's one of the
Yeah.
things whenever I watch Roxy Stryer too, it's like a big known thing. She hasn't seen The Matrix yet. And so I'm like always in the chat room, like, watch The Matrix, watch it today. Stop what
Yeah.
you're doing and watch The Matrix. But she'll get to it eventually, I know. So
Yeah, she'll get to it when Christian watches The Thing. Anyway.
Yeah.
yep, exactly.
Little known, okay, I've said this a lot across everywhere. Little known thing about The Thing, it was filmed 4 hours away from my hometown.
Oh wow.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
just on a town at the same town where Insomnia by Christopher Nolan was filmed.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Okay.
Right
So
on.
my number one has been my number one since I was a little kid. This series of now 8 movies has always had a special place in my heart. The character is somebody I've always tried to model myself out of. It was Best Picture winner of 1977, Rocky.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Now,
Nice.
I cheat a little bit because I like to think Rocky 1 and 2 as one, but for the purposes of this list, it is the first Rocky. I've tried to pattern who I am after who he is. Kind of somebody, because I've always felt like I was somebody that nobody really ever gave a shot to. All I needed was that one chance to prove myself, and at 32, I'm still waiting on it. The story of how the movie got made and how it mirrors Stallone. The love story between Adrian and Rocky, like how they fill each other's gaps, like they say, like he says in one of the movies. Just everything about that movie. It's a movie I will rewatch whenever. I will twice a year. I'll watch the whole series. I even like number 5. I'm going to say that I do not hate number 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just there's something about Rocky that I feel a deep connection to, and for that it's my number one, and it will always be my number one. And I think he was robbed of the Best Supporting Actor award for Creed. I think he should have gotten it
For
over
Creed,
Violence, but that's just
definitely, I agree with that one.
yeah.
Not just you. I would agree. Yeah. And actually, Rocky's one of the series. Me and my wife just rewatched the whole Rocky series about 3 months ago. We watched the whole entire thing because actually I'd seen the first one when I was a little kid, but all the rest of them I actually hadn't seen. So actually, I have just seen Rocky like 2 through 5 probably about 3 months ago. So
Nice.
and it's like one of those like things that like, after watching it, like why did I ever hold off watching those movies? Those movies are so good, and now I just find myself listening to the soundtrack over and over, especially the moment when he wins the big fight at the end. It's just it just gives you all the feels and stuff.
Yeah.
It's just it's so good.
I will go to my grave saying Rocky 5 is a better script than Rocky 4, but Rocky 4 was better executed.
Okay.
Yeah.
I go with you.
Yeah. So that's my number one.
Yeah.
What's your number one there, Ben?
Yeah.
Well, it came out in 1985. Robert Zemeckis, Back to the Future.
Yes.
Oh, there you go. Good pick. Good pick.
It's been my favorite for years. It is a perfect movie.
Yep.
There's really not that much I can say. Michael J. Fox, Christopher Lloyd, awesome duo. Yeah, I mean, what can I say? Alan Silvestri again.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Alan Silvestri
Very
is a guy I
quotable.
think. Yeah, oh yeah, no, 100%. And what Alan Silvestri I think is a guy who, when it comes to listing the greatest composers of all time, I always think he gets the short shaft. I rarely hear him mention it, but he's got so many iconic scores. He's got the Avengers theme. He's got Back to the Future, Forrest Gump. Like, the dude has quality music out there. That is a great movie. Like, there's so many things to appreciate about it. Like, I respect Michael J. Fox for all the stuff he put himself through doing that, filming Family Ties during the day and Back to the Future at
Oh
night.
yeah.
Dude.
How?
Yeah, there had to have been cocaine involved.
Yeah, whenever I go bowling, my nickname's always Calvin Klein, and people are always like, "You want to do that to the underwear?" I'm like, "No, Back to the Future, Calvin Klein. Come on."
Oh,
Yeah.
oh man. Yeah,
Yep.
fun fact, Michael J. Fox, also from Vancouver.
Nice.
Oh yeah, that's right. He is Canadian too. Yep.
The first place I lived at when I moved down to Vancouver in Burnaby was 5 blocks from the theater named after him.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, that's something that like they're getting ready to have a big Comic-Con in Seattle, Emerald City Comic-Con, and they're going to have the whole Back to the Future. Have everyone, Michael J. Fox. They're gonna have
Not
Biff. I heard
everyone.
that played Biff,
Not
but, and
everyone.
then
No Crispin Glover.
yeah, Leah Thompson. Oh yeah, he definitely would probably want to appear, but then COVID-19 hit and I couldn't do it, and I was really upset because I wanted to wear my Marty McFly cosplay again, but it is what it is. So hopefully they'll come back someday.
One day. Okay, so what's well? I guess not. What's your number one? We already know your number one.
Yeah, but you already know mine, and I kind of held off saying much about it because I wanted to kind of wait to talk a little bit about it. But yeah, Logan definitely is my number one. I remember just when I walked out of the theater, just being blown away with that movie, and then like for some reason, like immediately I started thinking of like my favorite movies of all time. It's just a thought that came into my head, and I was like man, like I have so much love for The Matrix, but I think Logan trumps it. Because just that performance that he gives it in the movie, and the whole way everything's kind of patterned after Western, and then you have Sir Patrick Stewart in there, and then especially at the very end of the movie, like it just gets me every time. Like I always shed a couple of tears when he finally dies, and then she turns the cross, makes it an X, and I'm just like oh man, that's just so good.
Think of
so
there's
it's just
there's a line in the previous Wolverine movie that when you think about it and you think of that scene, you will die with your heart in your hand.
Oh.
I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about that because he died holding his daughter's hand. Yeah.
Oh,
and that's why I love that movie poster
true.
So much. That's why I love that movie poster so much. It says a lot about that movie.
Yeah, like it really did. They're saying that they're gonna an X-23 movie with Daphne Keane in it. So I mean, because I thought she was right up there. Like,
she was amazing.
Besides Hugh Jackman and Sir Patrick Stewart, she was like probably the next best actor in that whole movie. And so I'm really hoping that we get to see an X-23 movie someday. I don't know how it's gonna work with the whole Disney merger, but like I can always hope. I always keep my fingers crossed.
Yeah, anything is possible, and you could always do it with Daphne Keane as an adult.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It still worked just as good, I think. So.
Yeah. Okay, so that brings an end to that segment, and I guess an end to the show. I guess.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you guys want to talk about?
I'm good.
No, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we've covered it.
Yeah. 2 hours later. So yeah, basically this is pretty much going to be the format of the show going on. But yeah, sorry. Go ahead, Jordan.
Oh no, you're good.
Okay,
you keep going.
Okay, so yeah, basically this is going to be the format of the show. It probably won't be 2 hours long every time, but this is the first episode, so that's just how it ended up happening. And we're going to definitely bring in more, like Jordan alluded to earlier, we're going to bring in more fan interaction in here, and it's pretty more kind of our favorites thing, and I'm actually looking forward to that, because I think this top 5 movies discussion was a great way to start that, and it was a great discussion. And if you look, all our favorite movies were like very broad, which I thought was pretty cool. Yeah,
definitely.
So that's pretty much wraps it up. Ben, where can everybody find you?
In the Facebook group, in the MediaSweaty Facebook group, I'm always there on Twitter. My name plus 2, Ben Rainer at Ben Rainer 2. I don't know why I'm that, but I'm that. Opinionated too.
Right on.
And Jordan, where can everybody find you?
So I am on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. I don't really use Twitter that much, but I am on there. You can find me at Jordan83616. I kind of say it slowly so you can catch the number. Jordan83616. It's my zip code from where I used to live in Idaho. But anyways, and then also on Facebook, you just look up Jordan Anderson. Probably you can find me in the Media Sweaties group doing all the polls or all the fun like movie questions that interact with the fans. I'm definitely in charge of that part of Media Sweaties. So.
Okay. And you can find me all over the interwebs. That's soda_the_saxman. You can also find me over on the Schmoes of the North Facebook page, where every week we break down the matches of the previous week. Right now, we're doing 2 videos a week just because of all the matches we're getting. There's also the show Northern Consultations, where we actually interview people from the Schmodown space. Coming this upcoming week, I'm actually interviewing Kevin Smet, so that's actually gonna be pretty fun. We've interviewed Roca, we've interviewed Winston Marshall, we've interviewed like some pretty heavy hitters. Kaiser, we interviewed at the very beginning, which was pretty cool. And yeah, you can find me here. I do run the Twitter for the Media Sweaties Network, so you'll find me more over there than you will on the Facebook group. But once in a while, I do participate in that. So yeah, that's pretty much it for tonight. Thank you for sitting with us for 2+ hours. Guys, it was great talking with you, and we shall see you all guys later. And folks, stay sweaty. Oh, Jordan,
stay sweaty. I was just gonna say that if you want to send in any questions you want or anything you want to hear us talk about, if you have any kind of things you'd like to hear us talk about, we're definitely gonna have a link to our email in the description, because we definitely want to have some fan interaction with that. So if you have anything you want to hear, whether it's movies, whether it's books, whether it's like just something out of left field, or whatever you want to hear us talk about, definitely go to that link in the description.
100%. And yeah, we definitely hope to hear from you guys. So again, on that note, everybody, stay sweaty.
Stay sweaty.